Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Monday, June 5th. Here in Baton Rouge today, expect cloudy skies with a high of 86. In hour number one of Off the Bench, Jake and T-Bob talk about LSU's performance so far in the Baton Rouge Regional. Hour one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in OTB Monday, June 5th, 2023. Taylor kicking off the show today. Mario remains in Miami, where I'm sure it actually was a pretty good place to be last night as the Heat tying up the NBA Finals. A weird game where I didn't really watch. I was so exhausted from the just tension of LSU baseball yesterday that I don't think I had any more sports left in me for the day. But like always, you know, I'm checking on Twitter, Jake, I'm following along, and it was so funny because like the Heat were declared dead for the majority of that game. They come back and win. There's a lot to get to. We'll get to that a bit later. We're going to start with a lot of baseball this hour like Taylor laid out. First, though, how's everyone feeling today? Jake, how you doing, man? How was the weekend?
Feeling good. Went and saw Spider-Man.
Oh, so jealous, dude.
On Saturday. So took the boys. We all got that done. Enjoyed that. Just relaxed. Tried to watch a lot of baseball. Did watch a lot of baseball, but waited for a lot of baseball as well.
Yeah, it was a weird, tense, anxiety-ridden 48 hours. I think I tweeted right after the game ended yesterday, but it just felt like I didn't even realize, I think, just walking around in everyday life, what a burden. And it sounds ridiculous, but I'm sure there's many people who are going to empathize with this. But, like, I didn't realize what a burden I was kind of subconsciously carrying around on my shoulders as this team you just did not know what was going to happen. And yet, despite all the weather delays and everything else, where do they sit, Jake?
In the driver's seat.
Close. In the catbird seat.
It was one of the two.
It's the only time you ever hear that phrase in the catbird seat is NCAA Regional Weekend. I actually looked it up, see what it was all about, and I guess it's kind of it's from like a 1942 short story that the author, I guess, just made up. And then there was like a legendary baseball announcer named Red Barber who started to use it, his daughter said, after he read the story. And so it's not like it's made up. Like some dude just made it up back in the day. Famous baseball announcer used it. And now, nearly 100 years later, we use it only on NCAA Regional. But it's where everybody wants to be, and it's where LSU is, right? Only need one win to go ahead and advance the Supers. They're rested. And against all odds, Jake, they've only used 4 pitchers through 2 games. Whew, could not have You would have never written the script as how it played out in terms of everything this weekend. But at the end of it, however it happened, you could not have asked for a better setup going into this game.
No, yesterday, whenever you had the rain delay and you bring in Thatcher Hurd, that was Jay Johnson saying, we're going all in on this game. We've got to get this game.
Yep.
We can't toy around. We can't hold any pieces for maybe what's happening down the road. And then Thatcher goes out there and does what he does, which is just be a bulldog on the mound and basically strike everyone out that he faced and gave you exactly what you needed. And you mentioned only 4 pitchers, and Guidry only has to come in. Now, we'll talk about what he did, but he only has to pitch 1 inning.
Yep.
So, I mean, you saved a ton of arms. Now you have a situation where you're going to have 2 chances to win 1. You just got to go win 1, but you do have 2 chances. You don't want to get to that second chance, but now – you have so many arms available that you probably didn't think that you were going to have, even with pitching Paul Skenes in that first game. But I'm sure some of that has to do with Jay's decision to pitch Paul Skenes on that first opening game.
And now it feels like a lifetime ago, but if you think back to Friday morning when we talked to Ben McDonald, Ben basically told us that the Skenes thing was coming. And it's funny, Jake, because 90 minutes before first pitch, Jay Johnson made it official. And let's just say there was a lot of fallout on Twitter, right? People freaking out. Why did this? Well, look, I think I think first off.
Actually some tweets that might be it might be interesting to bring him back up and throw him on the back screen.
What did our resident baseball experts say? Because I got people texting me, like, shout out my guy Nathan. He's texting me like, did Jay make the right choice? I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like, Jay Johnson will forget more baseball and by multiple times more baseball than I will ever know. So it's hard for me to sit here and be like, Jay, you're wrong. But like, what did our resident baseball experts say? Like Hunt, Hanny, Matt, where were they at?
There was. Oh, you give a Matt baseball expert? Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You know, they love baseball. Those are the guys that I think I'm saying. Well, and Moose. I would love to see what Moose had said as well. Those four are the big baseball heads here.
I would have loved to just seen Moose's reaction. Like, just give me like the 5 seconds after. I don't need to see his tweet. I just want to see his reaction and what he mumbled to himself.
Oh, yeah. Moose loves just like a grumble, a mumble and a grumble inwardly as he berates whatever's making him angry. Okay, but the point of all this is that it caused many people to get up in arms. But, hey, ultimately, Jake, how do we judge decisions, right? I mean, logically, we could judge them, okay, when they were made at the time, what were the factors and did it? But ultimately, all we care about, did it work or not? And now, what a genius choice to throw Paul Skenes on Friday. Not only do you win that game in a closer fought battle than you maybe would have expected it to be, but he goes all 9 innings, gives you a complete game, which means that you literally save every single pitch on every single other arm. And most importantly, if you had saved Skenes for game 2, what would you have gotten? 3 innings. 3 innings. You would have, from 9 to 3. You want to talk about changing the entire complexion of the series? And I'm going to ask Jay this on Thursday, but I have to imagine, Jake, the weather forecast played, like, we were all kind of ignoring it. I feel like that probably played a large part in his, and I think he intimated something along that in post-game presser. I was trying to find it, but yeah, I think that probably was a factor in his decision as well.
Yeah, you could even tell at the post game, like when he was asked that question, kind of like, "Hey, I'm the coach, and that's what I wanted to do. That's what I thought was best." Got energy coming from Jay, but now, well, the thing the rain did actually do, because you only got 3 innings from Ty Floyd, you did have to use Thatcher Hurd.
Yeah,
Thatcher probably would have been a strong candidate to start this game today. So now it's okay. Who's going to start this game? What are you looking to get out of the starter? Are you going to go Johnny Holstaff and see if you can put some of your best bullpen arms out there to go get a victory? Because remember, like you do, if you lose this one, obviously you have another situation where you got to go play 9 more.
Yeah.
So how they format today is going to be highly important. But like you said, I mean, you would have gotten 3 innings out of Paul Skenes. And so looking back on it, Jay knew exactly what he was doing. Imagine that.
So, I mean, in terms of who is left, you got Little, Cooper, Ackenhausen, Herring. I'm sure Guidry could still throw if you need him to. Am I missing anyone? I mean, I know still, Dutton and Collins are kind of on the edges if you need him, but
I would say like, Dutton, Collins, and Little are like on the edge.
Yeah, more Cooper, Ackenhausen, Herring probably in that first grouping, and then you get to that next 3. Okay, so I mean, there's so much stuff to break down for the weekend, but I want to start here because he is someone who we talk about all the time, because of course we do, and it's the only player to ever be back-to-back SEC Player of the Year, and that's Dylan Crews. Because if you think back yesterday, when you have Oregon State take the early lead, then you have the 3-hour rain delay, then suddenly it's 3-0. You've left about 1,000 people on base within the first 3 innings of this game. At that time, Jake, I'm not going to lie, morale was low. It felt bad. There was not a ton of belief. Everybody was melting. The group texts are popping off. I saw one text from a friend. Well, boys, it's almost football season. Get ready. Already declaring this team dead. And then who stepped up when the team needed a spark, needed someone to do something offensively? Of course, it was the legend, Dylan Crews, coming up with a big 3-2 home run. And it felt, Jake, if you go back and watch the replay, which actually, Taylor, it's probably worth bringing up. Go to LSU baseball and go look at the Dylan Crews home run highlight. Well, I want to play it with sound, because when we listen to the crowd, Jake, you will see and hear, you will hear and feel the collective exhale of anxiety from the crowd. It was just a breakthrough that was needed to kind of get the ball rolling offensively. It
was. I mean, it's on the SEC network right now in studio. I mean, the emotion that you got out of that home run from the crowd and from Dylan Cruz.
Yes.
Dylan does not show a lot of emotion. He's a guy that even if it's a home run as big as that, he kind of puts his head down. He runs around the bases. You did not see that Dylan Cruz, and so it did. Because T, I mean, you played football long enough. I played football long enough. There's that guy that doesn't get too high.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, when he does, this is a big moment, and it juices the rest of the team up, and it certainly did that, as you saw following his home run.
It's a bit like one of the three things that a wise man fears, right? A gentle man moved to anger.
That's right.
And that's what Dylan Cruz was after this play. Okay, we got it with sound. Are we ready, boys? All right, here's what it sounded like. 3-0. Remember, everything feels lost a little bit. Ty Floyd not going to pitch more. You got Thatcher Hurd. You don't know what Thatcher Hurd you're getting. And that's when the captain stepped into the box.
Infield push back. They're going to give LSU a run with just a routine ground ball.
There's nothing routine about that. It is blasted out of here. Dylan Cruz with a 2-run shot has cut it to a 1-run game.
Well, when the postseason rolls around, you need your stars to show up in a big way. LSU down 3-0. And you lean on what very well could be the first pick in the draft coming up in July. The infield push back. They're going to give LSU.
Tell me that didn't give you goosebumps, dude. It was a cheer that kept gaining in momentum as people realized what had happened. So just a fantastic job by Dylan Cruz, kind of opening up. What moment kind of sticks out in your mind, Jake, from yesterday?
I mean, obviously that is one, but if we're going to another moment, how do you not go to Hayden Travinski and Kay Beloso going back to back? Hayden Travinski hits an absolute bomb. Remember, he just missed one in his first at bat. The wind was blowing in. Well, I don't think any wind would have held that home run back. I mean, he hit U-High's baseball field behind the stadium, and then Beloso,
immediately. Nobody has better bat flips than Travinski does. He just dropped that thing immediately.
I know, and it's something that we've talked about 1,000 times, but it's always worth mentioning. I mean, Travinski, Beloso, just guys that had really at the beginning of the season we just weren't talking about because they really had no role on this team. And all they did was stay at LSU, be loyal to LSU, put their head down, go to work. And when they got their opportunity, they've been doing things like they did yesterday.
And Travinski's incredible because he's so intimidating. He's got that freaking mustache that he's staring you down with.
Katie yesterday watching him, she goes, he looks like a big leaguer out there.
I know. He's not like a kid, dude. But never forget, hey, it's for all the nerdy kids out there. When we talked to Hayden, what did he say he was most excited to do on the bus that day? Play Pokemon, okay? So you can do both, kids. And granted, I'm not always the most manly feeling, so I'm not maybe the best example of doing both, but Hayden is, okay? Because that's a man right there, and he got it. But, I mean, look, Hayden's awesome and deserves all the flowers, and it's like, what now, like 8 home runs in like last 19 games, something crazy. But I just can't get over the story of Cade Beloso. The way that he got injured last season in just the most brutal way possible to contemplate giving it all up, turning it all in, to come back. And I remember talking to his father, Hot Rod, at a charitable event last season, and he told me, we were talking about Cade come back, and I just remember in my head thinking, like, bro, there's so much talent on this team. Like, there's no way there's going to be a spot for him. And, wow, I could not have been more wrong. So, no, Hot Rod and the whole family had to be fired up when Cade came through with those back-to-back jacks.
Another one, Burt Boy, 878 points out inside of the chat. The Travinski double play, strike him out, throw him out, that was huge. I mean, it just felt like it was trouble. And then to have that, and obviously a lot of people were like, you can't play Travinski behind, you got to play Milazzo, you got to play. And look, Milazzo's great, he's had a great year, but Travinski can get it done as well. I felt like that was a big moment for the team and kind of for him too, okay, I'm just not even going to say anything about the catcher position anymore because obviously what he's done with the bat, but that was a big play in the game.
Yeah, I mean, his bat is overwhelming.
Yeah, you can't take
it
it
point.
out. Yeah.
And he looks so big behind the dish, too, which I love. He's just like a giant back there. All right, so, okay, there's still a ton more to get to and to look forward to and to get to what happened in the rest of the regionals. There were some major upsets, some Not so major upsets. I mean, look at Wake Forest.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team.
Did they break
roll
a sweat?
through. I mean, I have never seen a team roll through a regional like the Deacons did. So we'll get to it all as we continue to break down the NCAA tournament here on Off the Bench 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
You can count on. At Solassi's, you make all the right choices. Solassi Jewelry and Fine Gifts, in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
In the game of life, we want to catch heart disease before it strikes. See a cardiologist at Cardiovascular Institute of the South to keep your heart safe. Find a CIS clinic near you at www.cardio.com.
Musso, join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. Matt is back from vacation. We're recapping the Baton Rouge Regional, and the Saints hit the field for the final week of OTAs. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Okay, I do like this. It's a little funky. We had a new summer playlist that we're going to start jamming, but I do enjoy this right here. Welcome back to OTB. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Tigers in the catbird seat is the word on the street. Left out Javen Coleman in terms of arms available for today, too. Obviously, good looking out. Taylor with that. Okay, other good before we maybe get what needs to be better, Jake, if you're going to continue this run to Omaha. Thatcher Hurd, right? I mean, it's I don't know. It's probably on me, but and we mentioned him and you mentioned him, but Thatcher Hurd was fantastic. And it's weird because it's not that it was perfect.
Right.
Because, like, it's a stat line that many would read and maybe not come away too impressed. 5 inning pitch, 4 and run, 7 hits. You're like, what? I mean, that's like, all right, I suppose, right? Even with the big 12K number, you're like, huh? But then to me, knowing the context of what happened to Hurd this year, where he was training really well at the beginning of the season. It's so funny during yesterday's broadcast, everything Ben and Dave Neal kept bringing up was like, he hasn't done this since March of 23, right? Yeah. And it was like all this stuff like in March, and he had the good Texas start, and then it just fell apart. I mean, completely fell apart in the middle of the year. And so to re-find himself in the way that he has recently, and this has been a continuing trend, it's now his 3rd straight appearance of at least 5 innings, right? And 4 or less runs. So it's been getting better and better. But to have the year that he had, to have those low moments, and now to find himself here, Jake, it's kind of funny. I thought that mental toughness was even on display yesterday, where when he has a couple big plays going on, he doesn't let it spiral anymore.
Right.
He just comes right back and he punches you, and he's a big one pitch and clear. Quote, it all starts with strike one and getting the leadoff guy out. If we don't, we move on to the next pitch. It's one pitch at a time. And I think I've grown from my outings, good or bad. All true.
And if you have a guy like this, so you mentioned the stat line, and if you didn't watch the game and the emotion of the game and the spot, and you don't know the full story of how his season has gone, you probably aren't as impressed.
Yep.
But if you know everything that I just laid out, you're highly impressed. And that's all you need. You need a guy like that to step up in the postseason and be that third option, be that third guy. And that's certainly what he did yesterday. And he got into some trouble. And most of his trouble was early. To your point, he found a way, right? Gives up a 2-run home run, still finds a way. And I'm thinking, okay, Jay's going to go get him. Jay doesn't go get him, and he still continues to mow people down. I mean, he has that one inning when you thought he wasn't even going to come out. I think he got 3 strikeouts, struck out the side.
That pitch right there is at the top of the 8th, full count, because he's getting pulled if he walks that batter right there, right?
First, any of those. Yeah, in the 8th, any of those batters, he all got to 3-2 counts, and, he's out there, and he's just –
that curveball, I'm not exaggerating. I dreamed about it last night. I dreamed about 2 things last night. I dreamed about that curve dropping immediately into the zone, and I dreamed about Succession.
Okay.
I just can't stop dreaming. I just watched way too much. Like any TV I've been watching is just. I'm now at the beginning of season 4, so I'm closing in, boys. I'm almost caught up to the conversation.
Yeah, we'll talk about the season 3 finale during one of the breaks.
Yes. There's a lot to get to, but yeah, man, Thatcher Hurd was awesome.
I mean, you really couldn't have asked for anything better.
No.
I mean, going out there, taking the ball, a less than ideal situation, rain delay, and then it doesn't start out great for you. And like you said, like so many times in the season, it just continued to spiral for him. But it's a great point by you bringing up what they were talking about when Ben's like, yeah, he hadn't had this many cases since Butler.
Yeah.
I'm like, Butler? Like, how long ago was Butler? And it's Butler. No offense, Gordon Hayward and the Bulldogs there. But
Brad Stevens.
Like, if you can get that version of him, which that's who he's been as of late, then the conversation that we spent so much time talking about is irrelevant.
Yeah, true. I mean, the whole pin, it's like we said, we said it coming out of Hoover. You felt better about the pin. And thus far, between him and the next guy, we're going to talk about Gavin Guidry, damn good in yesterday's game. The Guidry story continues to be more absurd. Number 1 player in Louisiana. Thinks he's going to come in and potentially start in the infield immediately. Gavin Dugas' rise kind of puts those plans on hold. Doesn't start pitching, remember, Jake, till after fall ball. That's the craziest thing. Did not start pitching till after fall ball. And now, in a must-have situation, game on the line, 9th inning, he's the one you're giving the ball to, and he doesn't look phased. He's just coming out there, and he's just chomping on his gum like it's all old hat to him. He has a runner on second breathing down his neck with a 1-run lead, and he gets the K to end the game. That, my friend, is big, big balls baseball from Gavin Guidry.
I would have loved to have had him mic'd up because he had some self-talk too.
Yep.
Some good self-talk. I don't think we could play it here, but he had some good self-talk in that moment. And like in a good way, though, like very composed for a freshman. A freshman, like you said, T, that was not expecting to be on the bump at really any point in an LSU uniform this year. He's expected to, obviously be an infielder, maybe even compete for the second base job. And now he's on the bump against Oregon State in a regional to close out the game.
Yeah. And I believe the first hitter he faced was at Turley.
Yeah.
I mean, one of their biggest bats the entire lineup that already made you pay that day. And what did he do? He rung him up.
He hit a ball to Port Allen.
You know what's crazy about Guidry too in this situation to me, Jake, is that it's even made much more unique by the fact that he has the specter of a whole other 9-inning game hanging over that moment. Like, it's not like if you lose, you get to go home, sleep, and regroup. No, if you lose, you have to stay at the ballpark that you've already been at for 8 hours and get ready to play a whole nother game. Like, I feel awful for Oregon State. It was just unfathomable thinking about having to do that last night. And shout out to all the true college baseball sickos. We talk a lot of college football sickos here. They're but a pale imitation of baseball sickos. Because you already, if you just look at popularity, you got to be a bit messed up in the head to love college baseball as much as we do here. But if you were one of the ones who stuck around in the stands to watch Oregon State, Sam Houston State, pat yourself on the back because you're the realest of the real ones. That's insane.
I don't know. Like, would Moose, Hunt, Handy, Handy didn't go to the stadium anymore, but all the people that, that's baseball sickos, and I don't know that.
I don't know that Moose would. I wonder if he did actually, because I know obviously he was there for the LSU game, and I know he didn't leave during the rain.
We'll be able to tell though, because he's usually in the old ESPN closet in the second floor.
True.
Doing something when I leave here.
Moose at the box. Go check it out.
Yeah, you can tell if Moose has been up late or not.
He was at the box this weekend. All right, here's what I want to do next. Let's go to break. When we get back, we'll talk about things that need to be fixed, maybe look at today's game a little bit, and then look at what happened as a tournament as a whole over the weekend. The road to Omaha rolls right along next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. The website's an excellent place to start your next car buying journey, which can feel very overwhelming, right? From a lot of different standpoints. There's a lot of choice, right? A lot of prices, a lot of this or a lot of that, a lot of options. Well, don't be worried about climbing that mountain. Let All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge be your Sherpa to lead you to the summit of success. And look, if you want to talk about getting the best deals, whether it's buying new Toyota certified used vehicle, maybe just renting, you want All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I just took the car down to Destin. Got the Highlander. Perfect for road trips. If you're looking for something for a road trip, go rent a Highlander, go rent a Sienna, go rent a Sequoia. All that is available. Per day rental prices, fantastic per day rental prices, by the way. And you can check it all out on All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further...
Live on location from the walk-ons in Brewley during lunchtime. It's live at lunch. Ott and Hanny, we recap the LSU Regional and the whole field of 64. It's live at lunch, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday from walk-ons in Brewley on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. Jimbo Gravois says, playoff Thaddy? I like that for Hurd. Wait, I had one other that I wanted to get to. A lot of talk about rain being forecasted this afternoon. Well, hey, man, look. You dealt with it all weekend. You're going to just have to continue to deal with it. Burt Boy 878 said, we had the bases loaded thrice and nothing to show for it. This game was a play or two from being broken open. So that's a great place to start, because when we're discussing things that need to be fixed going forward, Jake, if you're going to make it into the Super Regional and, you know, where you want to, you got to start hitting with runners on. I don't know what's been going on lately. So Ron Higgins, I was trying to find the final number that they kind of kept referencing, you know, this recent stretch, but Ron Higgins had a good tweet here where I think this is as close as we're going to get. So this came right after LSU. This was through the first 3 innings yesterday.
Yeah, it was during the rain delay.
Yeah. LSU, if you looked at the last 3 games and those 3 innings, and remember, they would leave the bases full again later on, LSU was hitting 8 for 48 with runners in scoring position over that 4-game period. Now, obviously, that got even worse by the end of the game. The 8 to 48 is a 167 batting average with 36 runners on base. And look, I know that Jay Johnson has talked to us earlier this year about how, yeah, you know, we can do a better job, but one of the other weird things about this is like we're leaving runners on just because we get runners on at a higher clip than everybody else, but this is not that. This is bad. It's a bad stretch, and you can feel that it's starting to infect the psychology of a team a little bit, Jake, because there's no way that earlier in the year Tommy White chases those high fastballs like he did.
Yeah.
You could feel him just pushing, trying to make something happen when it wasn't there.
That was the first game that he hasn't been completely locked in a very long time. I mean, there's been stretches where he's been the best hitter in the country, in my opinion. And I've argued that with a lot of people. I'm like, look at how he's producing runs. That's the first time in a while we haven't seen him locked in. Maybe pressing, to your point, T, a little too much. And it's not like you have it with guys coming out, your 8-9 hole hitter coming up with the bases loaded. I mean, it's been with Travinsky, it's been with Tommy White, certainly was in the last game. It was in the SEC tournament. Remember how many times we talked about that? It was in the Georgia series to end the regular season. So that's been probably the most disappointing thing, is those are the guys that you want up. Not that those guys haven't been producing, but they haven't produced with the bases loaded. So a lot of people are asking, are you going to see maybe some changes in the lineup? Now, this lineup has changed throughout the season.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Some people are asking, is Pearson going to maybe slide into the number 2 spot? He likes Pearson there, in my opinion, as a second leadoff.
Mm-hmm.
He likes him in that spot. He was a leadoff hitter at the end of last year. That's why he's down there. I don't think it's a situation where it's really the lineup. I don't have an issue with the lineup and how it's formatted. It's just, guys, when that situation arises, you got to go out there and produce.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, like you said, Hayden Travinsky smashed a home run in one of his other at-bats. Like Dylan Cruz did what he did. Tommy White had a struggling day, but yes, it's not a lineup-based issue as to why guys aren't getting home. It's just something in the air, man. I mean, here's another crazy stat that I came across in the Advocate. In the month of May, LSU was 5 of 24 with the bases loaded. And I want to say, they went 0 of 6 yesterday? I mean, you at least had the one-out situations base loaded in the first 2 times. Maybe it was 2 outs in the thirds. Maybe so. You're somewhere around 5 of 30 since the month of May when the bases have been loaded. So that ain't a lineup issue. Right. That's a pressing issue. That's a bit of it. It's getting in their head a little bit. And I do feel that once somebody comes through in the same way that Dylan Cruz's home run yesterday kind of opened caused that exhalation, opened everybody up. I think once somebody does come through in one of those big spots, maybe today, break the game open, that then we can kind of move on from this talking point.
And like you tweeted out yesterday, until we figure that out, just keep hitting home runs.
Yeah, great life hack, right? I mean, if you can't hit him when they're in scoring position, don't put him in scoring position. Just hit home runs. You're always in scoring position if you're playing for LSU. So yeah, look, I think how you feeling? How we feeling about our guy Gavin Dugas right now?
He's going through it.
He's going through it a little bit.
He's going through it. Had another 2 strikeouts yesterday. 0 for 4 day. You see him put the glasses back on, and he's had some eye issues, and that's always like, okay, you're scuffling a little bit.
Yeah, whenever you're changing your approach.
And we've all been there. But I mean, he's been such a huge portion of this team, and a reason why this team, certainly early in the season, is who they are. And at the end of the day, okay, when you look at a guy like Gavin Dugas and he is struggling, you still want him in your lineup because he is a veteran player, because he gives that team some juice, and because he does have the power and the ability to leave the yard on any mistake. Right? So there's still value with a Gavin Dugas being in the lineup. When you look at some of the other options that would be in there, if he wasn't, it would be purely for defensive purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's not given, and you've had some defensive replacements, whether you had one last night.
Yeah, Nipple came in.
It's okay. Like, that's somebody that's still going to stay in that lineup. That's the reason he's not in the leadoff spot anymore.
Some people talk about Tommy White at the 2, and he's not comfortable there. I mean, I don't know if I agree, right? He was in cleanup situations, so it's not like batting second was that much different to him. And honestly, you just want to keep Cruz and White together, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't care where they hit, but you want you want Tommy White protecting Dylan Cruz, and eventually I think that Tank's gonna you cannot keep Tank down. I do believe that. Now it's been a rough week, right? What we don't exactly know what went down in Hoover, but being held out of those games. Now he entered this regional with 91 ribbies. We were talking about maybe hitting 100 this week, and had the opportunity. He's just pushing. I mean, that first fastball that he chased was somebody who was just his mind was predetermined.
Yeah.
He thought the guy was going to attack the zone, and he was just going to go for it, and that was a wrap.
And like when you start moving guys around, it's like, okay, well, move one of the guys at the back end that had a good day yesterday. That's when you get in trouble, and you got to format your lineup for a reason. And Joe Bear, Jordan Thompson, Josh Pearson, they gave you 4 hits between them. They gave you 2 home runs. They gave you multiple RBIs, and so you want to have that there as well. So moving one of those players into the 2, it's going to stay, in my opinion, like it was for yesterday's game.
You're in the catbird seat.
You know. You just
might as well.
You literally just wanted to say that.
They are, though. They're in the catbird seat because, in part, due to the lineup.
I would love for that to have like this great meaning, though. You kind of ruined it.
I know. I always thought it was going to be some old like American idiom that like, oh, well, back in the day, the cat. No, I don't know. But shout out to the author whose short story was titled "The Catbird Seat."
I wish I could make something up that stood the test of time like that has.
Yeah, 100 years. Yeah. Shout out to Red for making it stick around. So probably same lineup today. I did want to mention this. What a weird, like, try to put yourself in the Beavers' shoes here. And
Beavers don't wear shoes.
Fair. I couldn't come up with a good joke. Yeah, fair. Roger Kitchens says, did you hear that during the 2 rain delays, and again, this is one of the many myriad of reasons why you want to host, right? Did you hear that during the 2 rain delays, we put the Oregon State team in the LSU Hall of Fame room with the trophies and the replays of games on repeat, a little psyops going on for the Tigers. But think about what Oregon State went through mentally yesterday, where you're in this game, full crowd, insane atmosphere. The game starts, all the juices are flowing, it's hot, it's humid out there. Then all of a sudden the rain rolls in. And for 3 hours, like we said, you just got to go chill. You just got to go sit in this room that you're not really comfortable in. There's nowhere like comfortable to lay down, anything else like that. Then you come back out there, crowd still insane, yada, yada, yada. You lose the game. And then you got to go play again. And then you're not playing in front of a single person. You go from playing in front of a packed stadium to like 10 people being there. I can't imagine
You're playing like a Pac-12 football game stadium.
It was like a high school game where the parents didn't show up. Like it was.
That felt like something deep rooted right there.
No. I can't fathom playing in one game that's so full and then playing a game where just nobody's there, and you have to play till midnight, and you got to the park at 11 a.m. Yeah. I'm guessing early. Somewhere around there. I mean, you're talking about a 12-hour day where you have run the gamut of the sporting experience. Yeah. You have to use more arms. Like, this Beaver team has to be exhausted.
That's a great point that you bring up about the high and then the low.
So weird.
That's not even something I thought about, because even after the rain delay, even after a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but some people did leave the box yesterday during the rain delay, it was still loud.
It was still rocking.
Yeah, and it was still a very good baseball atmosphere. And then you go to nothing, and you have no juice and just the highs and the lows. And also, like, by the time you finished, it was Monday morning, and no telling what time they actually got back to their hotel, got in their beds, how much rest did they get, because they're going to have to be back at the ballpark in a couple hours.
Well, and a lot of people are saying, no, we need to play early because of weather. I mean, I don't think you could play early with Oregon State simply because of what happened.
Is there a rule as far as, like, amount of time between games on 2 different days? I mean, there's no time with the NCAA and some of their quirky rules. I know obviously you can play double headers in the same day, but there's weather, and a lot of people are saying, maybe pitch this off at 11 or 12.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know the rules there. I did see some people tweeting about this game has to be at 1 tomorrow, otherwise it's unfair to Oregon State. So I don't know.
But you know what?
Hebert says 80% chance of rain.
It is.
Pitch time.
Yeah, one of those things. It's not fair. It should have been a 1 seed.
Should
have won yesterday.
Okay. Yes. So. True, exactly. So I would have accepted that for sure, right? Like, okay, you don't want to be in the Hall of Fame room while you wait. If you hadn't gone 0-2 in the Pac-12 championship, you would have hosted, and you'd be in Corvallis right now. So like to the victor go the spoils. It's just one of the advantages that you get. So I'm pumped for today, Jake. It was a great week. Well, it was a stressful weekend, but a great weekend nonetheless. It's so funny how done I was with sports by the end of that game. I mean, I didn't care about watching the NBA. I didn't care about watching Sam Houston, Oregon State. It was just too much emotion for too long, too strung out, too in the back of my mind the entire time, just nibbling away.
I was completely the opposite. I watched the entire third and fourth quarters of the finals. I watched some Sam Houston, Oregon State. Wow. I turned on Squeeze Play there on ESPN.
Squeeze Play's cool.
Squeeze
Play's cool.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Budden, my co-host on Off Campus, holding it down. Chris Burke, Mike Rooney did a great job.
I actually have my weekend winners.
Yeah, I did too. Look at
us.
us.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah, dude.
But no, I couldn't turn it off after that game.
All right, let's do this. Let's go to break, and when we get back, we'll look at the rest of the tournament, and we'll maybe. So we got weekend wingers coming up. We got Hold the Mayo, who's live from Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh
today,
boy!
If you saw the Jackson video, let's just say he's not as high on Jackson as he was Shreveport. But we'll get some other stuff. But the baseball rolls right along, right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. Many of your favorite players getting it done on the baseball diamond over the weekend. Get it done with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, as they are part of the G team, of which many of your favorite athletes at LSU are. And what that means is they do all kinds of awesome initiatives. You saw a bunch of players last week playing with the Miracle League, where they help kids with disabilities play sports. Just a great act of service from the G team. And if you're interested in hearing from some of your favorite athletes, go check out the Grubbin with G series. You find Gordon McKernan at Get Gordon, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and you can watch us sit down with Flage, Angel Reese, others. Get Gordon and get it done.
Yeah, they have a live agent right now at that website, getgordon.com, ready to answer any question that you might have. You can, on the website, find a list of cases they can handle for you, past client results. All that is available on the website. And like T-Bob tells you, area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to.
Musso, join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. Matt is back from vacation. We're recapping the Baton Rouge Regional, and the Saints hit the field for the final week of OTAs. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
I was lying on the grass of Sunday morning of last week, indulging in my self-defeat. My mind was thugged up.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? T-Bob, J. Casey, Taylor hanging out with you this morning. Shout out Rivs, kicking off our summer playlist. I think you can actually just search it on Spotify, OTB Summer, if you want to check it out and follow along with us. Okay, other things that happened in the NCAA tournament over the weekend. I don't like to read this, but I will. Alabama made it to Supers for the first time since 2010. Almost got beat by Nichols, dude. Just an absolute battle with the Colonels. But in the end, the Tide move on. And, Jake, the tough times to be an Auburn Tiger continue. Go 0 for 2 in the regional that you're hosting. And remember, almost not a hotter team in the country than Auburn entering the NCAA tournament. And now you have Southern Miss and Penn. Penn! Is that like Ivy League Penn?
Yeah.
Ivy League Penn and Southern Miss playing in Auburn for a chance to go to Supers later today. But, I mean, Jake, think about Auburn, right? You know, anywhere near Alabama in football. They're way better than you at basketball now, which you thought you had on them.
Yeah.
You definitely thought you had baseball. I mean, you were in Omaha last year, and now look.
And you were hot.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been playing really, really well. And a lot, I mean, I'll throw myself in there. I'm like asking baseball experts, like, are they going to be like Ole Miss from a year ago? Like, find their way in. They're playing hot at the right time and make like a true run. And it felt like they were. And they just didn't show up to their own regional.
No, 0 for 2. I mean, that's a bad feeling, folks. And it can happen. And you take things for granted, you know, and you think it's going to be easy, but it's never easy. Hunt Palmer did a great job of pointing that out last week on his show, just, you know, going through it. Like, there's never an easy path to Omaha. There's always going to be those scary moments. Tennessee advances to the Supers.
After being about 2 inches from a turn double play away from losing that game against Clemson.
Oh, I missed that. Was that in the 14 inning?
Yeah.
14? Oh, wow. Wow. See, those are the margins. That's insane.
They had the base. Clemson had the bases loaded in the 10th, nobody out, and didn't score.
So I saw the very, very end of the game where I just missed it, but I think one of Clemson's best players got thrown out, and the announcers were apoplectic, as you should be. That was an ump show. That's a weekend loser right there.
Baseball.
But so Tennessee beats Clemson 6-5 in 14 innings. What that did, Jake, it snapped a 17-game win streak for Clemson. 17 games.
Yeah. Oh, they were hot.
And it broke them because then Charlotte beat them.
Yep.
And then Tennessee beat Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte, congrats on getting the victory against Clemson. Clemson had no juice left after that game, and you can imagine feeling like you won it because they called it like they won it, and then they went back and reviewed it. Like, actually, no, you're out, so let's play on. And then Tennessee wins the game, but Charlotte was overmatched. I don't know if you got a chance to watch any of that against Tennessee. So Tennessee, after what looked like they were going to have to fully sweat, didn't have to break a sweat against Charlotte.
Then South Carolina advances to the Supers. Arkansas and TCU will be playing a winner-take-all game today. What did TCU beat them 20-5 earlier?
20-5.
Oh, football score almost.
It was domination from the get-go. T. I mean, they wasted no time. You had a player for TCU had 2 grand slams before you got to the third inning, I believe.
Look, now you got a chance for revenge, right? Florida has battled back from the losers bracket. They have a winner-take-all game against Texas Tech today. Them and Texas Tech have a split their two matchups. Kentucky battles back from the losers bracket. They have a winner-takes-all game against Indiana today. Important because LSU will play the winner right here in Baton Rouge. Vanderbilt eliminated as Oregon goes 3-0 in the Vandy Regional. Stanford and Texas A&M have a winner-take-all game day. Oral Roberts moves to 3-0, and they're now in the Super. Oral Roberts went 3-0 in their regional.
Yesterday.
They move on to the Supers. Indiana State advances to the Supers, and Wake Forest outscores their opponents 48-8 as they advance. Also, Texas got out of Miami, and Coastal Carolina and Duke have a winner-take-all game night. Oof, yeah, sorry. I had to sneak that all in before the end of the hour. All right, weekend winners. Put them in the chat. We'll get to them next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. DraftKings Sportsbook, use the promo code Baton Rouge. Remember, you bet on the NBA Finals, and $5 gets you $200 in bonus bets with which to play if you're a new customer. Once again, that promo code is Baton Rouge. And remember, we also got these same game stepped-up parlays for people who are already customers, where every additional leg you add to the parlay can get you up to a 10% bonus, up to 100%. So remember, DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code Baton Rouge, $5 rate gets you $200 in bonus bets, or do the stepped-up same-game parlays. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Opt-in and 10-plus leg required for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbooks.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Licensee partner, Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. DraftKings, official sports betting partner of the NBA.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Monday, June 5th. Today's high of 86. Expect cloudy skies with some afternoon showers mixed in. Kicking off the 8 o'clock hour, we'll have some weekend winners. Also may talk a little Saints and LSU, and of course more LSU baseball. Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Hey. Nice. Y'all are giving us some really good winners in the chat, so we will get to that as well. Right now, let's kick off some weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? All right, weekend winners. Anyone who stayed for the Oregon State Sam Houston State game yesterday, as I said, we talk a lot about college football sickos, but they're just cosplaying college baseball sickos because you already got to be a bit sick in the head to love college baseball, and then you stuck around. The 123 of you, according to Jacques, who stuck around in that stadium yesterday, y'all are some real ones. We did the math, napkin math here. The box has about a 10,000 capacity. Say it's 100 people. There's about 1% of capacity in that game last night. So shout out to the real ones that stuck around.
I would not have been a real one. I'm just putting it out there.
No chance.
I mean, even if I had, some family on the team, it would have had to been close family for me to stick around. So you're right. If you were in that number, if you were in the 100, not hundreds.
Yeah, exactly. Not even hundreds. You can't even say hundreds. That's insane.
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to try my best T-Bob here. Hayden Trahimsky.
Oh, yeah. Now
okay.
Yes, dude.
Okay. Yeah, you're rubbing
it
off on me. It only took a couple of years.
Trahimsky.
I'm going to go with him. Obviously, the tie with him being from Shreveport, but just to stay locked in, to not transfer, because he could Travinsky could have gone a lot of places and been a really good player. He wanted to stick it out at least one more year at LSU, find out if he could find a way, and he has certainly done that. 9 home runs and only 17 games started. He's batting well over 400. He has given you a cleanup hitter in the postseason that you did not have any playing time for before the season. He was the 3rd catcher. Now he's batting cleanup for one of the best teams in the country, hitting home runs out of the stadium, literally out of the stadium right now. He has given you some extra juice. So Hayden Trahimsky, weekend winner.
Boys, y'all got any winners back there?
I got a weekend loser.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
to me. Wow, that's
thing.
Okay. Just like Danny used to start with. Yeah, there we go. They're perfect. Starting with the hate. I love it. Feed me.
It's got to be the Arkansas Razorbacks, right? Giving up 20 runs in a baseball game, 14 in the first 3 innings. I was checking the scores yesterday right after LSU got into the rain delay, and it was like 14-3, and I'm like, oh, they won the game, and it said 3rd inning. I was blown away.
So I would give a bigger loser to Vandy because they're already eliminated. But does Arkansas have to win twice today? Do they still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they beat TCU twice.
Okay, so Arkansas in trouble. Vandy already out. Overall, the SEC did pretty good, but you love to see that.
This is not the show to come find chanting SEC.
No, hell no.
We have a grin.
I want everybody to. I look. I want to see how many teams you can put into supers, but then I don't want any other SC team to make it supers. Screw all of you.
So
I don't want any other fan base to be happy.
There's a point where you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'll kind of piggyback off that real quick, T, not to go out of line here, but Richardson from TCU, he was 5 for 6 yesterday, scored 3 runs, hit 3 home runs, and had 11 RBIs.
Jeez.
11 RBIs.
In one game?
In one game against the number 3 team in the country, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Richardson, take a bow, 5 hits, 11 RBIs, 3 dingers.
I mean, if you're my age, it reminds you of the Fernando Tatis back-to-back grand slams in the same inning from back in the day. I think he credited somebody in chat said he credited IHOP breakfast as well.
Okay.
For being,
if it would have been Waffle
it.
House, I'd have been a little bit more behind that, but I'm okay with IHOP too.
Yeah, I mean IHOP.
Or rather Waffle House.
I agree. I'd rather, you know what I'd rather.
Simple Joe's.
Yeah, you can catch me. I was there this Sunday.
Like Simple Joe's. I don't know what
Great
your
time,
marketing
man.
budget is, but
Yeah.
give this man some free breakfast.
I know, dude. I know.
He's
What are you
literally
gonna do?
giving you more free pub
What are you
than
gonna do?
anybody in this station.
I know, man. It's like them and freaking
The theater that you got to go, you got to pack a lunch to get to.
Okay, maybe from your place. Relax. I'll get into some of the chats we can winners. Daniel Basham says Across the Spider-Verse, which I've heard is incredible. Jake, how was it?
It was very good. I can't imagine what goes into making a movie like that.
Yeah,
there was a bazillion colors. There was motion everywhere, and it was 2 hours and 20 minutes. So it wasn't like an hour and a half full of that. Like, I don't know how they got all of that done. My boys loved it. My oldest Jackson, that's his movie.
Yeah.
Like that's his franchise. The last 2 movies. It leaves you on a cliffhanger. Not to spoil anything. It was really good. Really well done.
So, I can't fathom how long it took either, because I remember seeing some behind-the-scenes stuff after the first one, and it was like sometimes, like 30 seconds of footage was taking like 3 months to do or something crazy. Like
it's like, okay, so it's obviously a superhero movie, but it's like a children's version of Sin City, if that makes sense. Like with just like all the different characters.
Hell yeah.
Some of the color in it, like some, how Sin City would like. This one character would be the certain color, everything else is in black and white. She's got red lips. It has a
and it's got a very distinct style. I think what it sounds like you're getting at is just the style of it.
Yeah,
it's it's already started even after the first one. Remember, if you've seen that new Puss in Boots movie, you saw the influence already, so it's only going to probably continue to do that. I would also say Weekend Winner do that new Little Mermaid movie. I didn't get to go see it Saturday to hang back with the baby, but wife, sister, 2 daughters went. They all loved it. Remember? And out here I was Friday talking about how I heard it was bad. So I apologize. Shout out Little Mermaid movie. Weekend winner John Joliffe says Paul Skenes. He had his first ever NCAA complete game and made the SportsCenter top 10 catch with that sick catch and double play. Yeah, we even talked about that because it feels like it happened so long ago. But if you missed it, Skenes in that Friday complete game at one point was just so locked in. A ball gets hit. He catches it, no look, through his legs and doubles him up at first. One of the coolest things ever.
We both had this on our weekend winners.
Yeah.
ESPN Plus Squeeze Play.
Yep.
It is fantastic. It is something that if you're trying to keep up, and if LSU's on, you're going to put LSU probably on the single screen like I did. But if you're just trying to keep up with all the action, Chris Budden, Chris Burke, you got Rooney there as well. Fantastic job. They don't try to do too much. They do a perfect job of just interjecting here and there and kind of giving you their expert analysis, and I enjoyed it.
Well, and one of the key differences, because it's like a red zone, right? But one of the key differences because ESPN does goal line for college football, because somebody does, this is college football, but the problem is they can only do ESPN games, right? And so you're not getting the true experience, whereas ESPN has all the baseball rights, so you get all the games. Really, really fantastic job by Squeeze Play. My next weekend winner, LSU and Angel Reese. The summer of Angel continues as I'm a 34-year-old suburban dad, okay? I guess what I'm getting at is I know she was in a Cardi B music video, right?
Yeah.
And then Cardi B dropped the line, ballin' so hard I could have gone to LSU. So shout out Angel Reese, whose profile just continues to blow up.
And Cardi B, speaking of profiles, changed her profile picture to her in an LSU jersey.
There you go. Somewhere out there, Mario's just weeping and tearing his shirt and gnashing and crying. Taylor, you look like you might be a little upset too. What's going on here?
I just don't know whether to be happy or sad about this. Like you said with Mario, I mean, I love when LSU gets pop culture references and gets the free pub, but I mean, it's Cardi B also.
This is where I wish that I was like Levitar and I had a penalty box. I would send your ass to the penalty box right now.
So you're a big Cardi B fan.
No,
but it's not that. I think he understands what it is and what it can do for LSU, and it doesn't matter.
I included that.
It doesn't matter.
I love the pop culture references, the free pub.
I don't dislike Cardi B.
I'm just not a big fan of Cardi B's music.
I'm saying
she's that good.
I don't have any emotion to work up either way. I don't listen to that. You can't listen to Cardi B if you're listening to John Williams.
I guess for me, there's just some good in that.
You can.
Only so much time in the day.
Music selection, and you can.
No.
Justify yourself there, T-Bob.
My next weekend winner, Bo Lowry. Congratulations, former LSU.
What happened
Saints.
to Bo?
He's going to Colorado. I'm guessing it's with Denver. He tweeted it this morning, heading out to Colorado. Which, look, I love it here, but I've never lived anywhere else as an adult. And I always kind of wonder what it would be like too. Live somewhere else. So probably pretty cool. I've spent so much time here now to get to go be with the Broncos, go out to Denver or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, Bo used to drive from Baton Rouge to New Orleans every single day when he was working with the Saints. Still lived here in Baton Rouge, and so I hope my man has a place close to his facility.
Yeah, me too.
That's all that I hope for Bo.
Shout out
Denver, fantastic organization. Everything they do is at the highest of pro level, so he'll really enjoy that. Shout out to Bo Lowry. Weekend winner, Haley Van Lith. She wins gold with Team USA at the FIBA 3-on-3 World Cup. John put that inside the Bayou Ford chat. Good looking out, John. I like the 3-on-3. I watched a little bit of it. Fast-paced game. And yet another win for LSU women's basketball.
Yeah.
No, whatever you're thinking,
no.
If T-Bob Hebert takes that long to think on something, it does not need to be said.
Yeah. JMH says weekend winner in the Under-20 World Cup. Israel defeated Brazil 3-2 in their first appearance in the tournament. That sounds tight.
Yeah, U.S. got knocked out in a tough one. They didn't. I mean, gosh, they were so good. Didn't give up a goal until this point. They lose 2-0. But shout out to Israel.
Well, as the show's resident Jewish representative, we love to see the boys getting it done there on the pitch. L'chaim. Weekend winner. Okay, we had there's Van Lith from John Joel. There's one more in the chat that I wanted to get to. We get there a little bit. How about this? Weekend loser, Churchill Downs. They're moving so that's where the Kentucky Derby is, right? They're having to move right? They're having to move the rest of the races over 100 miles away to Ellis Park because 12 horses have died in the last 5 weeks. What? You can't. What? How are you averaging 2 horse deaths a weekend? Over 2 horse deaths a weekend. That's crazy. I don't know what they got to figure out, but like, it's one of those situations where just get it fixed. I don't care what. You got to find a way to get it fixed. You can't have 12 horses dying in 5 weeks at one of the premier tracks in the country, maybe the premier track in the country.
Weekend loser, Marcell Ozuna, the outfielder for the Braves. He hit a ball. They're playing in Arizona, huge ballpark. It would have been out on, I think, 25 Major League Baseball stadiums, but he hits one in the center field tee, and it just misses going out of the ballpark. Okay, still, whatever. You're going to end up on second.
Oh, no.
Ends up on first because he pimped it. He watched it all the way. It hits the wall, and he gets a single out of a ball that traveled over 400 feet. He got removed from the game and did not look too happy about it. But, look, you can pimp a home run. That's fine. But you got to make sure that it's an actual home run. It's got to be an absolute no-doubter. And it's okay. You can pimp it and still get to second base. you can't get a single after hitting a ball over 400
No, I mean,
feet.
what do you do? Do you walk? Like,
Basically, yes.
Travinsky kind of pimped that first one. Not big time, but you could tell Travinsky thought maybe that first one was going to be out.
Oh, the one that the wind caught?
Yes,
oh,
the one that wind caught because he
hit it.
He dropped the bat. He was kind of like walking off, like, ooh, got him. Dude.
Yeah, like if you end up on second, I don't really care how you ended up on second, but he hit the ball 415 feet and got a single.
Gulf South says we're going to watch a lot of squeeze play during LSU's rain delay today, so get ready. Yeah, you're probably right. Weekend winner, the Miami Heat, says Bilbo. And yeah, I had on my list as well. How could it not be? I mean, it's so funny, man. They were pronounced dead after game one. They were pronounced dead after the first quarter, dead after the second, dead after the third. And yet, you look up, and even though Jimmy Butler only scores 21.
Oh, it wasn't Jimmy. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's 1-1.
Yeah.
The Heat team is just perplexing. I don't understand it.
And the Nuggets almost made an epic comeback as well. I mean, they were down like double digits with like 3 minutes left, and then they made their own comeback. Jamal Murray actually has a shot at the buzzer. If it goes in, it's a tie ball game, so they didn't give up either. It was a fun game to watch at the end. For the Heat, it was Gabe Vincent and it was Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
Those were the two guys that showed up in the fourth quarter. Now, Gabe Vincent had an incredible game. Duncan Robinson showed up in the fourth quarter. He was the reason that they ended up winning that basketball game.
So I didn't watch it, but as I said, Twitter's omnipresent, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the Duncan Robinson meme start popping off.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, wow.
With
It's happening again. How's this happening?
And look, Duncan makes a lot of money, and it's usually for the postseason.
Yeah. And now he's earning it, man. All right, let's see. Somebody said weekend. Jeff G says weekend loser Jay Grimes and his poor weather predictions. Look, man, weather's hard, you know?
Yeah, but never mind.
Wait, no, I got to hear this weatherman take. It's not on Jay specifically. What is your issue with weatherman?
I mean, you go to school for it.
Yeah.
You get your degree in it.
Yeah.
You have all the resources and tools to be able to predict the weather.
Yeah.
And it's just, it is sometimes amazing how wrong the weather report can be. I'm not hating on any weather reporter. That is your profession and you know all about it. But it is a profession where you can be wrong a lot and still be very good at your job.
So I would say that
look, this job's like that as well. You can be wrong a lot and still be good at your job.
Yeah, exactly, right. That's what it's like scouting or something, right? It's just or like hitting a baseball.
Well, it's not scouting. If you was wrong as much in scouting, you wouldn't have a job.
I mean, how right are the elite scouts? So like 60% of the time?
Yeah, but
if
you're bad though, you lose your job.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But even like, what are the best at though? In terms of like percent, like 60?
Maybe
65, right? I don't know. The point
That's
is,
a Jim Nagy question.
It's like hitting a baseball, right? I mean, it's just some things are kind of it's just hard. Even if you're the best, it's like being a draft analyst, right? You never get anything right, but you're still the best. It's hard.
It's usually just because I'm mad at you because the sports are getting canceled.
Dak Cajun said weekend winner Omaha, as everybody in Omaha has been saved from the Vandy Whistler for this year.
That's true.
Yeah, weekend winner, all of us, all of baseball. There will be no more Vandy boys for the rest of their way.
I think Vandy,
out.
Vandy was not the team that we thought they would be, and they had some ups and downs, and then they win the SEC tournament. And if you don't really understand, I guess, how coaches coach the SEC tournament, you're like, okay, Vandy's on a heater. It's just another example of coaches have a specific goal when they go to Hoover, and then, do you want to win every game? You do, but you have a goal in mind. You got to get to the goal, and then once you get to the goal, everything else after that is lanyard. But there's a purpose. I mean, Kim Mulkey told us in the basketball SEC tournament, they wanted to win a game. They won a game. They ended up winning a national championship.
I'm an idiot. Didn't even think about that, right? Fresh off winning Hoover, and now look at him sitting at home. That'll do it for weekend winners and losers. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. You want to find your next vehicle? Guess what? It's right there off of Airline Highway. And guess what else? It's a Yoda, bro. Okay? More like Tory Broda. It's a gender inclusive, bro. I'm talking to all the men, women, and children in the audience. Not children. You can't buy cars. But the men and the women, okay, look, let them be your guide. Let's see all the incredible deals they offer. You just graduated, maybe you're a military veteran. They always got great discounts for you. Go check it out all at All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Yeah, go to the website if you're looking to buy new, if you're looking to lease, if you're looking to rent. All that is available on the website, and we have taken full advantage of all of those things here, right? T-Bob has a new vehicle. I have leased a vehicle. We certainly both taken full advantage of the rental process, and you can as well. You go in, you tell them what you're looking for, per day rental prices. You can find them online as well. Check out everything that is available and that price I'm talking about. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
$0 over MSRP at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. That's right. Don't pay over MSRP. There's no markups, no games. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Live on location from the walk-ons in Brewley during lunchtime. It's Live at Lunch. Ott and Hanny, we recap the LSU Regional and a whole field of 64. It's Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday from walk-ons in Brewley on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back to OTB. We're going to keep talking baseball a bit, man. It's just in the air. It's just that time of year. Like, you know, we have other stuff in the document. And Taylor, you did a great job of finding some articles on, like, Saints' position of need and LSU in 2023. And we'll probably end up getting into some of this in hour number 3. But, it's, you know, I think it's time to just stick with baseball for now. As Steve Miller says, weekend winner, college baseball fans, period. Zach Moe adds on, yeah, what a great weekend for college baseball. Reminding me of the basketball tournament with all the upsets. Yeah, it was It was great. It was great. And a lot of games today as well. Let me see what we got. Okay, so actually, I don't have a great setup for the games today. If I just kind of scan what I wrote down earlier, you got Southern Miss and Penn in that Auburn Regional, which is kind of crazy. You have...
I think Mark DeRosa played baseball for Penn. Do you remember him? You grew up a Braves fan.
Yeah, I recognize that name.
I think he played quarterback for Penn and played on the baseball team. That's about all I got for Penn baseball.
Jeez, how
That's
can you
it.
be that smart? Play quarterback and go to Penn and play. How are you a dual sport athlete at Penn and play quarterback, which requires a ton of mental fortitude as well?
And now he's like a stud analyst as well.
So then you also got Arkansas and TCU playing one, maybe two games today. You have Florida and Texas Tech, who have split their first two matchups, playing in a winner-take-all today. You have Kentucky and Indiana in a winner-take-all today. And, of course, Jake, that matters because the winner of that will play in Baton Rouge.
Yep.
We know what LSU did against Kentucky. You know anything about Indiana? Sorry to just throw that out there. I don't know anything about Indiana.
Now, remember, that's where Lamonis came from when he came to Mississippi State. I do know a little bit about Indiana. We talked about him on off campus last week. A very young baseball team.
Okay.
Like 5 freshmen that are like key contributors to their team. And a lot of people, when you talk to them about this Indiana team, they weren't expecting it to be this year. It was supposed to be next year. Next year, look out for them, like top 15 type baseball team. But, you know, we always say it, when you're young and dumb, you don't know any better.
Yeah. Yes, I've also heard another saying with young and dumb that I was like, huh? Where's he going with it?
I mean, no, I remember being a freshman and playing, and Jimbo's like, look, you're just young and dumb. You don't know any better.
True.
It's the same game for you, you know? And so, like, there's something to, and obviously we don't like mean the dumb part, but it's like, it just means you don't know kind of how big the moment is.
You don't know what you don't know.
No, you don't. So that has been surprising in the fact that they've been able to play as well as they have, considering that a lot of people thought it would be the next season. Now, Kentucky, we know how they play. They're a West Coast style baseball team. They are a small ball. They're bunt, move guys over, steal bags. That's who they are. LSU's already played them. And so if you're picking between the two, I'm probably always going to go away from the SEC team if you're both able, to advance to the next, to the super regional there. But
speaking of small ball, it's been a little interesting as of late, as LSU has struggled, Jake, to knock guys in. LSU's been doing a little bit of small ball, right? You know how you manufactured some of those runs against Tulane on Friday, which we didn't even talk about the Tulane game, right? That is kind of crazy, I guess. It just shows you how impactful yesterday was, Jake. We didn't even talk about Paul Skenes.
Well, it feels like it was 10 days ago.
Yeah, it feels like it was forever.
But
Like 120 pitches, complete game. You literally didn't have to use a single other arm for a single other pitch. And
if you were going to use Paul Skenes, that's obviously exactly what you wanted.
Yes,
like
that's
nobody
what you were
else
going
touches
for.
this baseball.
What's funny too is it doesn't. This final score never show you that it felt sketchy, but it felt a little sketchy at the end, right? You had the 2-run shot, and then I can't remember the exact situation, but I think you had like 2 on late in that game, and it was maybe, and you were like, oh man, Skenes is getting up there. What if he keeps getting hit? Then you're gonna have to go to the pin, and we've seen how this can go in some earlier Skenes starts from this year when he has to leave no matter how late in the game, it can all just go awry. So it was a little more tension than you would have guessed if you had just seen the box score or the final score from that Tulane game.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. When you see Paul Skenes on the mound there and it was 7-2 and you had a couple of runners on, you're like, just keep him in. It's fine. Just keep him in, because that is somebody that he will will himself out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did that in that Tulane game, and you're right. It feels like that was 10 days ago, considering how many games and rain delays we've had in between there. But if you're looking at how things are matching up right now, you're going to have Wake Forest and Alabama in a super. Okay.
Love it. Suck it, Alabama, you
good
bums.
Luck. Probably playing the hottest, best team in the country. Texas has already moved on, as you said. Now, what gets interesting is if they end up playing Texas A&M. If Texas A&M now, Texas A&M's got some
play A&M.
Well, A&M's got some work to do.
Yeah, they got to beat Stanford twice or just once?
No, just once,
right?
Just
winner
once.
take
But
all
I'm saying
day.
they still got to win.
Yeah.
But if you have a A&M, Texas, and I believe that would be now both are coming out of someone else's regional. I believe that game would be in Austin.
Ooh.
So you'd have Texas and Texas A&M. A little preview before they get into the SEC. LSU and Kentucky or Indiana, and obviously we've already talked about that. You've got Tennessee and, Penn or Southern Miss. You feel like Tennessee is going to be heavy favorites regardless of who they play. You mentioned Indiana
and
State.
they'll play that at home, right?
Oh, yeah, that'll be in Southern Miss, actually. That's something.
I just saw in the chat earlier somebody said Tennessee was the higher overall seed. So I don't know for sure.
It could be, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because Southern Miss struggled a little bit down the stretch, so it would be Tennessee.
Think about how everything's coming up Vols, right?
Oh, for sure.
From starting, 5-10, I think, in the first 15 in the SEC this year.
And again, they are this Sharpie cap away from losing that game against Clemson.
That's crazy. And
then
now
who
they
knows?
get to host a super regional.
Yeah. Indiana State, who a lot of people don't even realize,
Fighting Larry Birds
hosted a regional. Like, they were the host in that regional. They win their own regional. They're waiting on TCU or Arkansas to come out of Fayetteville. And that super regional, if TCU wins, obviously is going to be at Indiana State.
Bro, how about Indiana? Good baseball state. Show some respect.
Yeah, been struggling in basketball as of late, but
yeah,
baseball.
Forget
They've
it.
moved on.
Make Hoosiers 2 and make it a baseball movie. I actually don't like Hoosiers, so I don't care. But I'm sure some of y'all would like that.
Oral Roberts and Oregon are going to face off in that super regional.
Ooh, Battle of the Big O's.
So Oregon's going to be able to host that one. So, a situation again where they didn't host a regional, but going to host a super regional. Virginia, who, gosh, I forgot to put it in weekend winners. They had a great tweet. They beat East Carolina, who was the Pirates, and they had like a pirate ship in a glass bottle.
Well, and I even like it from a further level because I believe, and maybe I'm wrong here. In fact, maybe now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm especially wrong because maybe it doesn't have any. Does the Cavaliers of Virginia, do they have a nautical background in terms of their mascot? Is a Cavalier, are we talking, am I thinking Calvary now maybe? I don't know, for some
their
reason.
their mascot looks like a pirate.
Okay, I've always associated Virginia's mascot with like a governmental boatsman, right? Like a Navy member fighting against pirates.
Boatsman.
And so, this felt a bit like, you captured the pirates. Like you were the governmental force of good, you captured the pirates. And
look at
then
that.
I feel like if you were a fancy lad, like an English fancy lad who was a boatsman, that you have a lot of these boats and glass bottles in your office. It was great all around. By Virginia.
Timbers shivered.
Yeah, Timbers shivered.
That
really good.
is a great headline. Shout out to whoever the baseball tweeter is.
I guess
for Virginia.
What I'm getting at, Jake, is I feel like the Virginia mascot is like the East India Trade Company from the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Yes. You know what I'm talking about? And then maybe East Carolina is supposed to be like your Jack Sparrows and whatnot, and they got the better of them. All right, what else we got?
So they're going to face the Coastal Carolina regional winner.
Okay, and that is going to be Coastal and Duke playing in a winner take all game.
Coastal had to
today.
win yesterday to force this game. A ton of home runs. They had 2 grand slams, one by each team in the first inning yesterday. It was kind of a wild game, and so they're going to be playing today. Coastal, I believe, saved one of their better arms for today, so we'll see if that works out for them.
The other, real quick on Wake Forest, in case you missed it, it's funny because like Hunt said last week, there's, you always feel like you're the much better team, but if you look at the history, there's never an easy road to Omaha. And every regional, not even super regional, every regional weekend has sketchy moments.
Yeah.
And look at everything we just read. You saw it throughout the weekend. And it's why we have so many games on Monday today. You know who didn't have a single sketchy moment? Wake Forest. They outscored opponents 48-8. Which, look, you get the number 1 overall seed. You should get the friendliest regional. But still, that is a statement from the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, they are built. Their roster is built for the postseason with the way they have 2 frontline starters. They've got a good third option as well. They are built for this, and it's why they're going to be so difficult to beat, certainly depending on how their pitching lays out. And if they have those arms available, they didn't have to really press at all in their regional. So all of their arms are going to be rested and ready to go against Alabama. The last one that we hadn't talked about, South Carolina is waiting on the winner of Florida and Texas Tech. Texas Tech beat Florida in the first time they matched up. Florida gets the win to survive and force another game today. But Florida, remember, they're 2 overall in this deal. Arkansas is 3 overall.
Forgot about that.
Both facing elimination today.
Yeah, and where would have Vandy been? 4, 6 overall, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Maybe 4. Like, I think LSU ended up at 5.
I think they were
Vandy
6.
passed,
Vandy was
6
6
overall.
yeah.
There you go. Sasquatch Smash with a pretty good point here. It says LSU scored 7 runs without a home run on Friday and then 6 home runs on 5 home runs yesterday. Yeah. So I always like when a team can win in multiple ways based on whatever the situation at hand demands, and LSU did that. Though, again, hitting with runners on has been bad for about a month now, and it must get better, even though I missed Jay Johnson's answer on it. Maybe we can find that. I'm not exactly sure where I would look, Taylor, so I'll leave it up to you. Ava Marzawani says, and Paul Skenes' last pitch was 101 miles an hour. I don't know how he does it, Jake. His delivery is so smooth, right? Like, I think about watching Randy Johnson throw when I was younger, and, you know, they've got all the crazy pictures of Randy Johnson where his elbow's at a 90-degree angle and it's bent backwards, and, like, he must have had a UCL made of, I don't know, like spider silk or
Vibranium?
something. Yeah, exactly, yes. He had the vibranium arm from he had Bucky's vibranium arm, essentially. But what's crazy about Skenes is, Jake, something about his technique never looks like it labors him. It's just so, it's kind of, it's just all just, it's so fluid, I think is the word that I'm looking for. And then that fluidity gives him almost like a whip sort of feel where that whole frame kind of builds to that moment when he cracks the whip and releases the ball, and it just goes exactly where he wants it. It's just so much fun to watch him pitch.
Yeah, you don't ever see him when he has to dig deep and when the crowd's behind you and you got a little juice. You don't really ever see him use like a full max effort to throw 101. You know what I'm saying? And some guys you do.
Yeah.
You remember Zach Hess, like when he was out there and he was doing like Zach Hess used every ounce of energy from his head to his toes to pitch like he did. And that's great. That's okay. Like you can do it different ways. But like T-Bob's talking about, you don't see the stress on his body for Paul Skenes. No. 101, like the pitch and the motion looks just like if he's throwing, you know, a slider.
Yes, that is what I can't even really wrap my head around. It's a credit to him. It's a credit to Wes Johnson. And, well, I'll be damned if I don't love to watch it. All right, when we get back, keep your comments rolling in. What stood out to y'all over the weekend? And James Slick says, T-Bob, why are we starting a game when rain starts? It says 100% chance of rain at that time. Look, I don't know, man. I'm not the one. I'm not the one to ask. But it's just par for the course for this weekend. It just, hell, I still couldn't. I got to the pool yesterday. Finally got all the kids packed up, sunscreen, all this crap. Literally, as I'm putting a toe in the water, just the sky falls out. It's awful. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via...
I drove myself to the ER, had heart surgery, and drove myself home 24 hours later, feeling fine. Starting running again after the procedure, I'm getting excited thinking about it. I had no pain, nothing. I felt great. And right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I'm back. I'm back. It's just amazing.
Ochsner Health. Long live you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to...
Musso, join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. Matt is back from vacation. We're recapping the Baton Rouge Regional, and the Saints hit the field for the final week of OTAs. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I forgot to mention this in Weekend Losers. If you had a baseball uniform that was all black, all navy, something like that, something that maybe doesn't go together, it's not a great weekend for you. Vanderbilt out, Auburn out, Campbell out.
Wow.
So if you're thinking about, all gray and all white's one thing, but if you try to go a little too flashy and you go the other way, it did not work out.
Wait. Okay, so let's apply this. We might have to do this in commercial break. We should apply this theory to the games today and then see if anybody's going to be on the back heel here due to uniform choice. My wife just texted me the girls. What's up, Alice and Odie? I hope you're having a great morning. You know what they're on their way to do right now, Jake? Little Kim Mulkey basketball camp. Yeah, buddy.
I saw the signs when I was driving in on Nicholson. It said, Kim Mulkey basketball camp this way. There was people already at 6:25 that were pulling in, getting ready, walking to the PMAC.
Hell yeah. I know. I'm excited.
Are both Alice and Odie going, or is Alice going?
No.
Nice.
They do 3-year-olds as well. So I don't know what in the world
Alice
it's going to be
I'm
like.
just telling you, basketball is going to be your sport.
It could be. She's very tall, and then so is Odie. So hey, I hope y'all both have a great time. I'll see you in a couple hours when I pick you up from camp.
Are you going to get some shots up?
I wish. I'm going to be a little bit of a rush. I got to go sneak and get him before snaps and get him back home and then get him snapped.
Tell Aaron Murray. Say, Aaron, I'm sure you've been late playing golf. I got to get these shots up.
By the way, massive news for snaps today as we are finally getting our own YouTube channel. And it's already going to be seeded with a ton of videos and everything else. So if you've ever listened to my college football podcast I do with Aaron Murray, we've been on the volume, which is great, but it's not friendly for the algorithm, right? Because it's like, if you want to watch us, I maybe don't care as much about like Draymond Green and stuff and vice versa.
Is it up right now?
I think it's going to be up in 15 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes. I can't remember exactly.
That's a big difference. I need to know if I need to subscribe and like it.
We will. We'll get to it a bit later.
Okay.
Okay. Who starts tonight, Jake? What do you think? That seems to be one of the conversations. And then Hunt Palmer just came in here as well. And we were kind of asking him, and he didn't. I mean, Hunt, you didn't give us anything.
Yeah, he gave us nothing.
He literally was like, I don't know, it could go a few different people.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, of course. Like, you're supposed to come in here and tell me with your chest out. I mean, if I'm putting money on it, probably Javen Coleman.
Oh, I thought you were doing a money. I thought you were doing a money thing there.
Oh, well, I could,
Yeah.
but you could do something a little bit out of the way and go Blake Money. You could now because, obviously he's had starting experience. He's been a Friday night guy. He's been in big, environments before, and you save Coleman maybe for a bullpen situation. Maybe you save him in case you need another game. I don't know. Like, there's 1,000 different ways you can do this, but we probably should have thrown Blake Money's name in there just because of the games he's pitched in before. Obviously, he's not been that guy this year. He's had some moments, but it's been a little up and down. But he does have that experience, and he could be somebody that could be available for Jay today.
So philosophically, we know, or at least I'm guessing, Jake, that Jay's approach is all in on this game, right? Do everything you can to win this game, and let the
way
chips
he
fall
handled
where they
Friday,
may.
yeah.
So with that in mind, does that, if that's your philosophy, right, and you're not going to save anything for the back end because who knows what shape Oregon State will be in at that point if you do get to a second game. And by the way, the bats have to come to play today because even if you did lose the first game, whatever, like Oregon State's pitching should be beyond fumes by the time you would get to a second game. If the philosophy is all in on game one today, on just going ahead and advancing, I think it's Javen Coleman into Ackenhausen, maybe.
It's wild. Like, you are so lefty heavy.
Yeah.
Right now, and what you have available.
Yeah, and then you got Herring as well, and then and Cooper.
And Cooper,
you
that's what I'm
mentioned
saying,
Cooper.
yeah. So Coleman, maybe. I mean, if you start him out there, do you try to throw money in there to switch it up? Do you save money for a righty?
Start little. I'm just that's the when we get there, we get there.
Yeah.
I just don't walk. Okay, that's what I love about Thatcher Hurd's stat line yesterday. Did he give up runs? Yes. He gave up home runs. I get all that. But you know what he didn't? He didn't give up free stuff, right? 12 Ks to 2 walks. I'll take losing to contact any day over what we've seen at other times this year where you're just shooting yourself in the foot constantly. It's like LSU had like one hit. Like Oregon State was doing it. We just didn't make it pay. LSU had one hit and had loaded the bases twice in the first 2 innings.
It's just funny seeing the program director inside the Bayou 4 chat. We have 0 right-handed pitching left. I mean, it's considering – remember like 3 years ago when LSU didn't have a lefty, and now like you have 4 lefties that potentially could go today, and now Blake Money and Christian Little probably the only right-handed. I know Guidry can certainly come back as well. He only threw 1 inning, wasn't high stress. He can come back.
I guess it's weird too because you do have to, and I would love to pick Jay's brain about this. How do you monitor it knowing the weather's coming, right? Knowing that whoever starts could potentially be seeing their arm. They could get burned up simply because of the weather.
Yeah, you did have Collins warming up also last night. Bryce Collins was warm. T-Bob, you can't be doing
I don't like that breaking ball that much. It's tight when it works, I guess.
Yeah. But he was an option. Like, you didn't see Sam Dutton.
Little Collins and Dutton, I'm just like, if we get there, we'll get there.
Yeah.
And I'll cheer for you.
There's always next year.
Let's see if we get
and that's what we talked about on Thursday or Friday. Shrink it. Shrink it like the Major League Baseball ranks, your postseason roster. It's who got you there. It's who you trust. And you have limited options sometimes and who can be competitive out there.
All right, when we get back, close on hour 2 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Turn my music high, 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 high. Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you can run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like it's Wall Street.
Bayou Ford has $15,000 off plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on all new 22 Ford F-150 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
All right, let's say ah. Live on location from the walk-ons in Bruley during lunchtime. It's live at lunch. Ott and Hanny, we recap the LSU Regional and a whole field of 64. It's live at lunch, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday from walk-ons in Bruley on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Blake Miller said, got to start someone other than Coleman or Ackenhausen. We will hit a rain delay in the early innings, so we need to save them to eat up innings. So it is weird, right? That's so weird, yeah. But isn't that somewhere where maybe Coleman makes sense? If he's already going to be on a pitch count?
Yeah.
And so it's already maybe you don't think he's going to go super far anyway. And I have trust in Coleman, at least to the point that you can trust when you get this deep in the staff. Which again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know Oregon State staff top to bottom, but I mean they just got to be exhausted. Using 3 more pitchers after LSU last night. How many did they get up to in the LSU game last night? I need to do a little.
Well, I think you saw.
Check.
I think you saw. just what they have available yesterday against LSU. Whenever you're hitting the home runs, the ball's jumping off your bats. Remember, they stayed with the same pitcher through most of those home runs, and so they realized what position they were in. Now the game,
he was feast or famine too. Like he
was.
he was getting Ks in between for sure.
I mean, outside of the the sidearm delivery guy that is throwing a couple spinners out there, everybody else they were like, hey, we're pot committed. I mean, he's the only one that kind of had a quick hook. As soon as Dylan Cruz hit that home run, they're like, okay, you can go sit down now. But
yeah.
So, I mean.
Ooh, bad break for them. I forgot that was A.J. Lattery on the mound for them to start the game to the rain delay ruin, and he was their last real starter from the regular season. Remember, they lost 2 of their weekend arms entering the postseason, and A.J. Lattery was kind of their midweek guy who had good numbers. So the box score is all screwed up font-wise. I see 2 innings pitched. I can't get a total pitch count.
That just made my mind
I know. I don't know what's going on here. But the point is, like, the bats, look, I don't need the bullpen to win you this game, okay, or staff. I need the staff to do its job, and then the bats have to come through. You should be able to take advantage of this Beaver team.
On the mound, yeah.
They're a very good hitting team as well, so they are going to put up some runs. The offense has got to win this thing. Make it happen, man. Coming up in hour number 3, we got a guy Hold the Mayo at 9:15. Probably talk more baseball because it's just in the air. It's so much fun today. More to be next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Monday, June 5th. Today's high 86, cloudy skies right now with some afternoon thunderstorms possible. Coming up on OTB, we hear from Hold the Mayo, Devin Snow at 9:15, and some more baseball talk along the way. Hour 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Welcome back to OTB. Hour number 3. Taylor just laid it out for you. Don't forget, Hold the Mayos reporting live from the Best Western Plus in Jackson, Mississippi. Do not forget the plus.
The Best Western Plus?
Yeah, the plus. If you want to see what the plus gets you, go watch the video on Hold the Mayos Twitter. It's excellent.
It makes me feel so much better, even better, I should say, about his Shreveport review.
Yep.
After what he did there, but
not just blanket positivity. It's not like he's going to show you love if he doesn't mean it.
Exactly. But it is funny, like, marketing people get paid just millions upon millions and millions of dollars, and at the end of the day, they're like, "What if we added plus at the end of our name?"
Yes. It's so good. It's my favorite thing, right along with font. With whoever gets paid to do the graphic design on a logo, and they just barely change anything.
Yes.
Right. Or like even the HBO Max saga is pretty funny, right? We had HBO Go, HBO Now, HBO Max, and now it's called Max, the place for HBO.
It's
somebody got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially millions, to be like, guys,
for sure.
here's the pitch. Max, and the place for it reminds you of like an episode of Succession or something.
Yes.
It's like when Tom's trying. Yeah, it's really dumb. It's really dumb.
What if we cut off the thing that is the headliner in HBO and just left Max?
But we still need to mention HBO because we want people to know that the HBO shows are still here. So it's Max. I will say this. I have found the transition to the Max ecosystem very friendly. Like it actually was not bad to update it. Unlike TV, phone, it keeps, computer.
Like, I picked up watching Barry right where I left off.
Yeah, it did well. Like
that's
there's
fine,
a lot,
but it's like, why?
I don't know. New ownership or something. I don't know. Maybe HBO wasn't polling well with Midwest focus groups. I have no idea. Like what exactly leads to something like this.
I mean, maybe the best streaming service though.
It is the best. I do agree with that actually for adults.
I think the shows that it has. It's. By the way, speaking of streaming services, we mentioned like ESPN Plus, and we're not ESPN employees, so we don't have to pump sunshine.
No,
like it's always worth it. If you're into the things that we're into, like here in Baton Rouge, college baseball, college softball. I mean, certainly like you can find football games on there as well.
Gymnastics is on there a lot.
Gymnastics is on there. It's hard to beat that as well.
Yeah, big worth. I agree. Now, granted, for our jobs, it's a literal business expense. But look, I've said it plenty in the past. I think there's probably been nothing better for SEC baseball than the rise of ESPN, because I know like there was always Tiger Zone right in other places where if you lived in Louisiana, you could always watch all the games. But if you were outside of Louisiana, you could not.
My grandma used to pay pay-per-view to watch me play LSU football games.
Yeah, hell yeah. I remember like 1 or 2 times a year.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden you can watch it on any device, no matter where you're at. Maybe even watch a little Call of Duty while you're out it. Shout out Cagenomics. Max Plus Ultra. Paramount Plus is a great stream.
I was like, why are we talking about like Western movies? Because best Western.
It's pretty dumb. It's a good joke. Shout out 3.
I would like to say that Big Jake was my favorite, maybe the best Western, because that's what I'm named after. Is the John Wayne movie Big Jake, and that's why I get my name.
I've never seen Big Jake.
That's a good one. My favorite Western though, Rio Bravo.
Wait, that's a restaurant.
Rio Bravo?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I know it's a
Nobody
great
else grew up going to Rio Bravo? Am I making this up?
Ricky Nelson, Dean Martin, John Wayne.
No, I never seen it. I probably like Unforgiven, maybe, as my favorite, one of the more interesting movies, as the main character is like.
It's a great movie.
like a bad guy, right? But you're like kind of cheering for him.
I will go to my grave saying that, speaking of Westerns, that Val Kilmer in Tombstone is the best, maybe the best character that we have. Certainly supporting actor in a movie. His portrayal of Doc Holliday is almost unbeatable. You finally saw that, right?
I still never finished Tombstone. Once I get done with Succession, maybe I'll finally finish. I do love that in vino veritas when he's sitting there speaking a little Latin. I just feel bad for Brad Pitt in that movie because he looks so sickly. Entire team.
Val
What
Kilmer?
is it, Val Kilmer? He looks so sickly. The TB is doing a hell of a number on his lungs, dude. He's struggling.
Rico.
He should have. We talked about it Wednesday. You were out, Jake, but one of the medieval ways to solve tuberculosis was to suckle directly from the teat of a breastfeeding
I knew this
mother.
was coming back
and
to
if
breast
a
milk.
woman wasn't available, goat's milk or cow's milk would work. But again, it had to be straight from the teat. You could go to St. Bartholomew's, and they had women, cows, and goats available to fight tuberculosis. So
Women cows, huh?
we've come a long way. Well, no, women, comma, cows, comma.
But it sounded funny because you said women cows.
Yes,
Like, well, yeah, you don't say.
Okay. No, guys. Okay, wait. I'm not going to engage with that, guys. Okay. The Call of Duty stream is not in any danger. Okay.
T-Bob's
Nothing
putting it
we
out
say.
there on
No,
blast.
nothing we say matters in that regard. It's all algorithm. Y'all relax a little bit. Somebody said earlier about Javen Coleman that he went 65. Okay, Gulf South says Coleman threw 65 against Georgia, so I know he can get more than 50 pitches. I definitely wouldn't burn him starting today. What do you mean by that? Why wouldn't you? I mean, you need to use all of your best resources to try to go ahead and stamp the ticket to the Super Bowl. I don't think you plan for what if we lose this game. You go all in on winning this game, and then you just figure it out from then on out. And I'm pretty sure that is the same boat that
Check the weather here.
that Jay Johnson is going to be in if we just look at how he handled Friday and Saturday.
All right, so at 10 a.m., so coming up here in about an hour, 30% chance. It goes up to 40% at 11. It goes to 50% at noon, 40% at 1, 40% at 2. You're 30, 40, 40, 30, 30, 30, all the way until 10 p.m. tonight. You have at least a 30% chance of rain. Not awful. We've seen worse, but it still could be a very, very long day. And
just continuous rain or like a quick storm like at the start of?
I mean, we might not. I mean, if it's going all the way till 10 p.m., I wouldn't assume it's a quick storm. But it has gone down. It was 50% at 2, I believe, when we started the show. I'm seeing 40% now.
Okay. So
that's wild that we're
glass
sitting here
half full.
talking about the weather and it affecting who you start.
Yeah, true. And that it's weather talk that's actually not boring and relevant. How about that? Not just conversational icebreakers, something that actually matters for the sports. Hey, Thomas Dare says radar not looking so hot, but as Jake just pointed out, glass half full. We're moving in the right direction, okay? I like the way that we're trending. Shout out to the grounds crew for LSU as well, keeping that thing good to go. I don't know how it got in the box, Jake, but when I was at the pool that storm started up, it was intense. We went and huddled in the bathroom for a second. There was hail.
Yeah.
Was there hail at the box?
Hell yeah. I don't know. I just
Hell
wanted to
yeah.
say that.
It was good.
Out there where
It's
I
twice
live.
now. I love you.
You're rubbing off on me.
Dude,
It
what
just
can
took
I
a while.
say, dude?
Where I was, there was a lot of hail. Like right in St. Gabriel, like there was a ton. So I don't know. It was a little bit all over the place. Although like at my house, it was still sunshine, but there's hail right behind us. There was certainly lightning, but it was like
so
bright.
That's so Louisiana. Well, we were just talking about tuberculosis. If you're going through a little bout of TB yourself, why don't you pop into Patient Plus Urgent Care? PatientPlusUC.com. You'll probably show up and they'll be like, how do you have tuberculosis? I thought we eliminated this back in the 1890s. Say, hey, man, I don't know. I just need to get in. I need to get better. I don't got time. Okay. With the digital profile system, with all the excellent doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners that they have, the facilities, which are really the thing that I cannot get over is how nice the actual buildings are and the technology within the buildings, the rooms, the privacy, everything is just the best. A cut above the rest at Patient Plus Urgent Care. Also remember all of your occupational medicine needs. You want to go to Patient Plus, PatientPlusUC.com. weather.com. Okay, now some are saying won't rain till 5 or 6 p.m. today. That'd be great, Greg, if you're right about that. But how about this? Jacob says, can we get a segment a week of Jake doing weather reports to see if he's as good as the local weatherman?
Yes.
That would be kind of sad if you could use your phone and get as accurate as some of the local meteorologists.
Yeah,
Fun
we'll
word
do
to
it.
say. Actually, one of those words that is a little hard to pronounce, though. Like we were talking about on Friday. Meteorologist.
Meteorologist?
Yeah, meteorologist.
Meteorologist. I had one as soon as we left. I can't remember now, see?
Now you forgot again.
God.
Oh, man.
Regularly. That was it.
Oh, that's an awful word to say, right?
Yes. Gosh, I knew my brain could get there. Just give me some time. I got to fight through a lot of ISO blocks to get there, but I got there.
Oh, wait. Matthew W's right. I forgot about this. He says, do you know 50% chance of rain doesn't mean like it's a 50% chance that maybe it will rain, maybe it won't. It means that 50%
we'll
of
get
the
rain.
area will
Yeah.
rain. I always forget that. So we just got to hope that it's not over the ballpark, I suppose. Bilbo Baggins asked the bench, favorite weather radar app. I don't have one. I'm weather agnostic. I just never plan for it. I don't have like my wife's a wedding photographer. She has one. I know outdoorsmen who have them. I don't have them.
I use a bunch of different, like whichever one I'm just searching. Katie uses the Weather Channel app though.
I just text
she always knows what the weather is.
I just text my neighbor Blake. Yeah, he's one of those weather guys as well.
Yeah.
Look, Blake, what's the radar doing right now? Let me know.
You know what would probably be the best person to ask? Ask like a travel baseball dad.
Yeah,
I bet
true.
they would know the weather better than anybody.
Oh my God. I just almost started bleeding out of my eyes thinking about being on a travel baseball weekend and having to go through rain delays. It sounds like the worst thing in the world.
Speaking of youth sports, now we don't do the travel baseball because of the same eye twitch that you just had, T-Bob. But Memphis plays indoor soccer. He had a game yesterday.
Seems very fun.
It's awesome. 45 minutes. You don't stop.
Let's go.
The clock doesn't stop.
Keep
There's
it
no
moving.
halftime. It's 45 minutes. Now you can like hockey
Get
sub.
in, get out, bada bing, bada boom.
And it just never stops. And if you're looking for something for your child to do this summer where you want to be athletic and also wear them out, go do that.
Okay. And no out of bounds even, right?
No.
Like you just kick it against the wall.
Yes.
Now, have any kids evolved to the point where they're like bridging guys using the wall?
Oh,
like kicking it against the wall and rebounding it to themselves around the defender.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely. And the league is, I think it's like a 9U. And so, like, Memphis is playing, like, they're second, going into third graders, first going to second. And he's going into, most of his team's going into first. But it's fun to watch him go out there and compete, though.
He's been doing that, though,
Yeah.
Growing up with the older bros.
Yeah, it's
It's
true.
old hat.
Yeah,
It's old hat for him.
Jackson, his older brother who's 13, does not take it easy on him.
And is probably 4 times his size. You could stack 3 Memphises on top of each other to get one Jack.
Yeah, Jackson's probably not awake right now. And Jackson, I know you're telling everybody that you're taller than me now because you are. But let me tell you something.
dude.
I had to put that old man strength on you real quick, okay?
Damn,
when you wake up in a
dude.
couple hours and you see this, just know.
So he's going around telling people?
Oh, it's the only thing he wants to talk about.
Let's go. I would too, to be fair. Actually, and no, not would. I did the same thing when my dad got older and shrunk. I started ripping on him. But it took me a lot longer than Jack did to catch up.
Yeah.
That's
Chill,
for sure.
chill.
When we get back, hold the mayo with some spread lines live from Jackson, Mississippi, here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552 is the number. Centralplumbing.org is the website. You go there, you're going to get taken care of. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess you're not actually going to go there. You could.
You could. They actually have like a shop
Yeah.
where you can buy parts.
Every part.
Yeah.
If you're a plummet yourselfer. I'm not.
Oh, a plummet yourself.
Yeah, plummet yourself.
Plummet yourself.
But if you're not, because plumbing's hard.
It's very hard.
You just call Central Plumbing.
It's not hard for them, though.
No, they've been at it for 50 years, Jay.
Yeah.
Seen it all. Fix it all. Centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, go to the website. And obviously, like emergency services, that is something we talk about because I can do a lot of things around the house, I feel like. But plumbing's just not one that I'm going to mess with. Certainly, if it's a real issue, they're going to come in, they're going to fix it. They're going to fix it the first time. And that is truly 24/7. But check out the website. Check out what they can do for you in the remodel game. Also, tankless water heaters. All that available on the website. Go to centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks.
Musso, join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. Matt is back from vacation. We're recapping the Baton Rouge Regional, and the Saints hit the field for the final week of OTAs. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Riding in the drop top with the top down, so you're switching lanes, girl. Pull up to the red light, looking right, come in, let me get your name, girl. Tell me where you're from, what you do, what you like, let me pick your brain, girl. And tell me how they got that pretty little face on that pretty little frame, girl. Well, let me show you.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, we're getting we're getting home the mail right now. Oh, geez, the percentage rain thing's actually out of control, Jake. I don't. People are telling me that the second thing I said was wrong as well. So Greg Lamont says 50% chance of rain means there's a 50% chance that the defined 50% chance the defined area has a 50% chance to receive at least 1/100th of an inch of precipitation. I don't understand anymore. I'm going back. It's just a coin flip. That's all it means.
Yeah.
I'm reversing it. I don't know. We just had the most shocking fact during the break. Taylor, who I'd have not have guessed as a speedster, ran, what'd you say? What was your time in the 400 in high school? 53.
Yeah, 53 seconds. Look, I could run a little bit in high school. I had a decent 40 my senior year.
Obviously, bro.
4.58.
Jake, what'd you run in the 400?
like 50.03.
Damn, let's go.
It wasn't far
dude.
behind him.
No, that's moving.
All right. Speaking of moving, Hold the Mayo's decided he's moving to Jackson, Mississippi. Is that right, Deb?
Absolutely not. No. Yeah, no. I'm looking at my view right now out of my hotel room of a Waffle House and a Whataburger. This place is interesting. I mean, look, man, my room at the Best Western Plus, it smells like cigarettes, wet animals, and Jackson, Mississippi hookers. That's the best way to put it.
I mean, it is $70 a night. Yeah, I mean, it's basically a per hour rate at that point. So I think this is good though, Dev, because there was some concern that when you went to Shreveport, some people were calling your objectivity into question, right? Does he really like Shreveport? Is it going to be anywhere that he goes that he's just waxing rhapsodic about? But no. So like, I guess what I'm saying is, in your Jackson review, you have now validated your review of the port city.
Yeah, I mean, this place makes Shreveport look like Los Angeles. I'm serious, man. It is tough out here, dude. I mean, look, dude, I saw a guy beating a bush for like an hour last night right outside the hotel. He was just beating a bush with a stick, trying to hope something of fortune came out of it. That was what I watched last night with the NBA Finals.
I wonder what drugs he was on. Yeah, who knows? I would like. What was his end game? I would have loved to. What are you doing in Jackson?
Dude, you gotta respect this guy. He was back out this morning at 6 a.m. with the stick again. So I mean, it's like this is like a daily thing. But look, all jokes aside, which none of that was jokes. That was all actually facts. The food out here is tremendous. It is.
Okay.
And that's why. Yeah, that's why I came out here, because, like, last night we went to this place called Martin's, and, man, dude, I had, like, steak medallions with a sweet potato, rice and gravy, jalapeno poppers. It was just, I mean, dude, after I was done, I had to go, like, lay down. You know, it was so good.
So when you when you go out to eat last night, have you gotten to the point, I'm sure it is here, but, like, is that on the house last night in Jackson? Like, was somebody hooking that up?
Dude, dead serious, man. Right when I walked in, the lady that was working the bus, she goes, "You got to be kidding me!"
No way.
Yeah, I was on FaceTime with her husband. So
oh wow, that's awesome, man. So the brand is even seeped into Jackson then.
Oh yeah, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm just telling you what the environment's like.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, and
they had some like 20 Hispanic construction workers doing a cook-off in the Best Western parking lot last night, dude. It was crazy, bro. Like,
that actually sounds like a really good time. That sounds like a way to get some fire street tacos.
Yes, dude. It was something else, man. But I'm going to this place today called Bully's. And it looks like they serve you, like, you remember elementary school, how you'd be served in a tray, and you know how they had, like, compartments and stuff like that? That's what this thing's doing, but it's all soul food. So it looks tremendous.
All right, so what's the next trip? Do you have anything else planned out? Like, did you go to Jackson because of the place you're going today? Like, how are we laying out these trips?
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat spontaneous, and then it's also, like, people in the comments, man. Like, they're giving me the blueprint in the comments every week, whether it's on Twitter, TikTok, whatever. They giving me the where to go, you know? So I like Shreveport for me, like, I had heard about that place, Herbie K's, so much up until then, you know? So I kind of was like, all right, I'll just go to Shreveport. I'm not looking for it to be like this beautiful place with all this stuff to do, but you can find gem stuff to do in places where there's not stuff to do.
Yes, looking at the unexplored corners of this wonderful part of our country, and it's cool that you're experiencing what I feel like I've seen happen plenty, where, you know, when you start all of this, you're having to do all the legwork, the research, figure out like what's in here or there, and then you eventually get big enough where the internet just does that for you, and they place it in front of you, and then it's the same thing with, like, if you have any show, like, I always think about Part of My Take, right? Like, at the beginning, Part of My Take, where they're having to find, they're having to reach and find out, like, okay, what are the funny things that happen in locker rooms over the weekend? Whereas nowadays, like, they're getting fed that by their listeners. So it seems like they hold the Mayo brand has the same influx of information coming.
Yeah, and to kind of answer Jacob's question, dude, I want to go to San Antonio. I want to go by the Alamo. I don't know why, but that's where I want to go. And I know that they got red beans out there. I know they got good food out there. So that would be my answer. That's where I'd want to go next is somewhere out there, by the Alamo, Davy Crockett.
I think earlier this year I went on an expletive-laced rant saying F Davy Crockett and all that.
Why?
Because we were playing Tennessee, dude. Okay, for baseball weekend.
Okay.
I don't give a crap about no volunteer.
I was just curious.
All I care about are drinking those salty volunteers. Hey, Davy Crockett, you loser. Okay, you know what you should have done? Won. How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, what are we celebrating here? A loss? We don't. There are no more. Jake, you're the guy that's always talking about no moral victories.
Yeah.
What is the Alamo but the ultimate moral victory? Okay.
Yeah.
Scoreboard.
It still looks cool though. It still looks cool. Place looks cool.
I don't care. I don't actually care about
Dev,
Davy
what
Crockett.
about? I feel like Mobile would be a good place for you, just because I feel like they would have some decent red beans and rice. Got a rich, history. Obviously, still have a lot of Louisiana, people that live in Mobile. A lot of LSU fans. I feel like Mobile could be a good spot for you.
Yeah, Mobile's on the list for sure. I've been looking at Mobile, and Mobile looks nice. What's crazy about all these places? Like I'm even in Jackson right now, but I'm looking at a whole city. Like they got big buildings, I guess, and dude, I'm right next to a volcano, which is another big conspiracy out here. I'm looking at this auditorium. It's supposed to be covering up a volcano.
What?
A volcano?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I kid you not, bro. Google it.
Huh? What? What are you? What?
That's why I came. That's why I came. Honestly, I wanted to stay by the volcano. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Volcano.
Is Mississippi
Jackson,
on a tectonic plate? I don't understand what you're talking about here. Like, what do you mean?
Dude,
Like,
dude, they have evidence that millions of years ago, they say in millions of years ago, a volcano erupted right here, man, at this Jackson Auditorium's covering it up. It's like a Chernobyl deal where they built something over it.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, I mean, Dev's not lying to the people here. The Jackson volcano. There's like a historic sign and everything, T.
oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
don't
drove-
know how to process that.
We drove by it. You can't get that. Like, there's no sign of a volcano. I'm almost like, did this happen? Type thing.
You know what you need to do, Dev, if you're ever going up to North Louisiana again? Did you ever stop at Lee's? Lee's, go get Lee's lunchroom, go get a little pie, a little ham sandwich. Is it in Alec technically, Jake? Where's Lee's?
No, it's like
further
between
north?
Natchitoches and Alexandria. Yeah.
Either way, that you want to talk about a legendary, legendary traditional joint, not for red beans, but best pies. I can't remember what president, like a president back in the day, when stopped in there, or no, they were featured on like Johnny Carson. Been around since 1928. They started serving ham sandwiches, and now 100 years later, they're still serving delicious ham sandwiches and pies. You should go check it out next time you're on your way.
I'm reading this sign, Dev, though. The Jackson volcano. Shallow seas covered central Mississippi. About 75 million years ago, a volcano erupted through the seafloor, creating an island surrounded by a reef. And today, these structures are located 2,900 feet beneath the city.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and it's the whole 75 million years ago thing for me. It's like, how do we know that? Not to sound like
really
that.
don't.
Oh my God. Okay.
Dev, I mean,
you can't, Dev. I don't even think you
Dev,
know.
we really don't.
We've had a lot of carbon dating arguments on this show.
This dirt tells me it's 75 million years ago. It's like, oh, okay.
Jake is a carbon denier, not a climate denier, a carbon denier. He does not believe in radioactive carbon dating whatsoever.
I think that's what they got too. Yeah, they got that for sure.
Dev, do y'all have that in the West Bank? No.
Yes, yes. You could definitely look at the West Bank soil composition and all the layers of rock.
Vapes, man. Yeah, no, we just got vapes down there, man.
Carbon vaping instead of carbon dating. Yeah, no. I mean, well, okay. You know what blew my mind? And the Louisiana Art Science Museum a few years ago, they had a piece of a meteorite that they were saying is older than the Earth itself, like billions of years or something, dude.
It's just bold, and it's like 80% of people, maybe higher, are not going to believe it.
Yeah.
Well, of course, because it's so hard to wrap your head around. Like
Right.
to our human brains, it's that amount of time is literally incomprehensible.
Yeah, like I went to the World War II Museum on Memorial Day.
Hell yeah.
And like,
Oh, that's a
you know,
good
I
time to
saw-
go, dude.
Oh man, it was like Disney World on there. It was packed, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother. That was an incredible thing. But it's like I believe stuff I see in there because I'm confident that humans were able to
Yes.
bring that information
Yeah.
to this time.
Yeah. I mean, we got T-Bob talking about something before even Genesis. Like we're talking about, before the Earth was even here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, if you really
Like,
wanted
dude,
to
we
get
just
into
learned
like
how
a, go ahead, Deb.
Well, I was just saying, like, we just got electricity, like, not even 100 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you think these guys were able to process this information for 75 million years? No way.
Okay, well, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, Deb, what is your logic saying? That we think the rock is 75 million years old because somebody told us? No, humans
Yeah.
weren't around. What are you talking about? There's no human being.
Just throw a
like,
number
from the
out there,
past.
Deb. It's like,
No, like
75 million.
It's not
75 million
It's not being passed down.
It's
by
like you're trying to
human
buy
knowledge.
a used car. You just throw a number out there and hope it sticks.
I think humans have
How
only
many
been
miles
around
it
for
got?
like human.
I don't know, like 75,000.
I want to say I think humans. Yeah, too bad you ain't driving none of them anymore, Dev. I see you there. I see you
Yeah, I'm
there
at
now.
VR2, baby. You know when they got them
Oh
left.
my God, you're driving a freaking spaceship nowadays.
Yeah,
but
gotta bring it back first thing in the morning.
no, dude, I think humans are like 40,000 years old. And if you want to get into like the biblical thing, to me, I would say you say it's before Genesis. I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to marry, evolution and Genesis and everything, that it would just be during, right? There's 7-day periods, not an actual 7-day period. That 7-day period could be a way of humans comprehending millions and billions.
I do think
of
God's
years.
time's longer than an actual day.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So no, I mean,
But all these
I think it's
billions of years
squares.
you are throwing out.
Yes,
Nah,
yes,
bruh.
get to
Nah,
that.
bruh.
Yes. If whatever, yes.
I'm just saying, man, why you had to put an auditorium over this volcano? Can we see anything?
It's 3,000 feet underground, Dev. What do you want, an elevator
Dude, then
down
show
there?
us, then keep the hole and show us 3,000 feet underground. How many places you can go and look 3,000 feet underground?
I don't think-
You mean elevator or something?
What do you mean keep the hole? I don't think the hole stayed. I think the hole got covered up. You would have to dig a hole. Or is it capable for human beings to dig that deep into the Earth's crust?
I don't know. Bruce Willis did it on an asteroid in space.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
I went into an Armageddon hole the other day, and I was trying to figure out, was it a bad idea to train oil drillers to go to space versus doing it the opposite way? And at first, because that is kind of like a big deal, like when you train the astronauts to do it, but we have to remember, they only had like a week, right? And they weren't actually having to do anything in terms of they just had to be able to survive getting to space. Like, there were actual astronauts doing the lifting. So the lifetime of drilling is actually harder to replicate than just getting your body ready to go into space, right? So in the end, I think Michael Bay made the correct decision in going with Bruce Willis's team to save the day. Great job.
Shout out Bruce Willis. Isn't he like sick or something, man?
It's sad, yeah, man. His brain, something in kind of the dementia type of family. Where if you were wondering the last few years, like, why is Bruce Willis taking these jobs? I think he was trying to basically set up his family.
Yeah,
and it got to the point where he had like headphones in his ears, like feeding him lines as he's filming. It's really sad. Yeah, shout out Bruce Willis, legend of the game.
Shout
man.
out. Absolute, bro, legend.
I feel like it's a weird place to end it, Dev. Do you
Well,
have
I
anything
was
that
gonna
bring it somewhere else to take me out of this Bruce Willis sadness?
Yeah, I heard you talking about tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Which this is kind of a sad way to end too. But
I'll lighten the mood. So I was thinking about tuberculosis,
the old TB.
When I think of tuberculosis, man, one person always pops up right away. Edgar Allan Poe, bro. Like, that dude dealt with so much tuberculosis, man. Like, his whole family.
Really?
Yeah, you never read into Edgar Allan Poe?
No, I mean, I remember, I always think about the story where, like, he hears the heartbeat and, like, the trunk at the bottom of his, or at the foot of his bed. And then the one where the person gets like walled up, but I don't know much about it. I know he died like drunk on a park bench or something. I don't know a ton about him.
I think he had tuberculosis. I could be wrong, but I know his whole family died of tuberculosis. But think about that, bro. Like, that stuff's curable now. It's like, dude, but you're taking whole families out back in the day. And you're telling me that we were able to collect information for 75 million years. We couldn't even cure tuberculosis, you know?
Think about how, guys, again, humans weren't around 75 million years. What are we talking about, guys?
I like where your head's
what are we
at,
talking
Dev.
about? Humans
Dev, I
aren't
like where
as
your
old
head's
as
at.
the Earth.
All these millions of years we couldn't figure it out, you know?
No,
I get it, Dev.
not at all.
Dev, I'm with you. I get it.
But I mean,
I guess I'll just leave y'all with that.
I guess to y'all's point, if we say we're 40,000 years old, yeah, we had about 39,900 years where we weren't really doing much of anything.
Yeah, just all of a sudden, oh, man.
Oh,
Civilization.
my God. Oh, man. Y'all are wild. Deb, where can everybody get some shirts?
HCMsports.com/shop, and I got Respect Your Body shirts in there, and I got my original ones in there right now, too, so check it out.
Is this true, Matthew W. saying oil wells are like 15,000 feet deep?
Yeah, Champ was saying 20,000 earlier.
Right, that's another thing. It's like, dude, and we know, like, they've gotten to that. Can we see this volcano?
Yeah, I agree, Dev. I take it back. I'm sorry. I didn't know we had that technology. It's been a hell of 100 years, boys.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of 100 years.
right.
Look at us, dude.
Dude, finding the Titanic changed the game for finding stuff in the ocean.
Are you talking about that 3D imaging that just came out? Did you see that?
Yeah,
Oof.
dude, it's like they've taken sonar to like just a incredible. It's crazy, man.
They have released these ultra high res images from where they, using sonar, they completely scanned like every single inch and detail of the Titanic, and it is crazy looking. It is shocking, dude. Very worth
Check it out.
looking it up on YouTube or internet or whatever.
Titanic's got to be top 10 best YouTube searches you can do. Like when you really get in depth, it's incredible. Simulations, everything.
And I think the most recent stuff, right, Dev? Isn't it calling into question the accepted theories behind the sinking?
Yeah, don't get too much into that though, because it's 100% proof. What's his name that went and found it?
James Cameron.
Yeah, but somebody else went and found it.
Oh.
I forget it. Yeah.
I guess that's right. I guess James Cameron kind of found it, just not first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, like they see the gash where the iceberg hit, and it all makes sense, dude. Everything, the compartments, it ripped 3 seals, and that's all it took to sink the ship.
Yeah, I guess what I was thinking about though is like, you know how like the lifting and the splitting thing that it does in the movie, and then I heard maybe it like hit it ran aground on an ice. I can't remember. I don't know. I shouldn't just be talking out my ass. Hey Dev, you have an excellent day, man. Enjoy Jackson. Excited to see RB&R Day today.
All right, y'all have a good one. This was great. I appreciate it.
See you,
The
Dev.
Best Western Plus. Don't forget the plus. That's where you get the extra amenities. Okay. When we get back, more OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to Riverlands Insurance. Call up 225-206-1517. That's Thomas' email, cell phone number, okay? And you get in touch with them. You're going to work with the father-daughter combo, Thomas and Megan, and they're going to save you money, man. Every single day we come in here, we seem to have some sort of success story from somebody who saved hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. And the best part is, like, Jake, what else can you do in life where you don't actually have to do anything to save the money? Like, really stop and think about that. Like, all you do is call, and then no matter what type of insurance you're talking about, they do all the shopping for you, and then they're just like, here is money back in your pocket. That's a good feeling.
And it's something you have to have.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you need this in life, and
True.
so why not go ahead and get the best possible situation going for yourself and your family? So call Thomas today, anywhere in the state of Louisiana. Doesn't matter where you're at right now. 225-206-1517, 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Live on location from the walk-ons in Bruley during lunchtime. It's Live at Lunch. Ott and Hanny, we recap the LSU Regional and a whole field of 64. It's Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday from walk-ons in Bruley on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Jordan Haydad says, Lucy walked the earth 3.2 million years ago. That's Granny. Respect your elders. Without Lucy, we don't get Paul Skenes. So I looked it up. It looks like some old hominid bones, Jake, found from a long time ago that I don't think technically Homo sapien, but I guess like maybe what would become Homo sapien. I don't know.
Lucy. I think of Lucy. I think of, isn't that what we always talk about? Charlie Brown.
Yep.
On the football away.
Yep.
There's a great song named Lucy. Lucy.
Sure, you think about the Scarlett Johansson movie? I'm just kidding. I don't.
That was a movie that
just
happened.
showed up when I googled.
Yeah.
Well, here's a fun fact then from the Lucy Wikipedia page. Lucy acquired her name from the 1967 song "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds." So the person was a big fan of the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
It says the song was played loudly and repeatedly in the expedition camp all evening after the expedition team's first day of work on the recovery site. Cool. Oh, it's going to be a fun day today, boys. How's everybody going to take in the game? Is everybody taking off of work? Like, what's going on?
All right, so.
Oh, yeah, you have an interesting
So
situation.
for off campus today, Oklahoma and Stanford are playing. I believe first pitch is going to be at noon in the Women's College World Series. If Oklahoma loses, which they haven't done since Moby Dick was a minnow, There's no off campus today if Oklahoma loses because then they have to play again against Stanford. And so, your boy will get paid even if he doesn't work.
Oh, so.
But if Oklahoma wins, then we have our normal showtime, and it's literally starting the same time first pitch is happening LSU versus Oregon State. So I could be viewing it a lot of different ways because I will be watching on my iPad. Dallin Cuff, I hope you know you're pulling the weight today if that happens.
So
would that be a bad move if normally I'm the host of the show, but Dallin hosts Sports Center?
Yeah,
and I'm like Dallin, today off campus is yours.
No, absolutely, dude. But yeah, I don't. It's kind of funny, Jake. So if Oklahoma loses, you get paid and don't have to work. Two things that everybody would love.
Yeah.
On in any given job, right?
Yeah.
There's never been a big there's in all of sports. There's not a worse team. That you could have this fate.
Literally, maybe not ever.
Yeah. So
besides the 72 Dolphins. Look, Kennedy for Stanford. I don't know if she's going to go again today. She threw 7 shutout innings, only gave up a single hit yesterday against Washington. Softball, you can come right back the next day. Freshman of the year across the country. I told you, 0.24 ERA. I need you to step up again.
So Oklahoma won 8-7 on Saturday, May 27th for a super regional sweep over Clemson. That pushed him to a record 48 straight wins in a row, and now they've won one more on top of that?
They've won 3 more.
3 more. So they are now up to 51 wins in a row, but you know what they're not getting? 52!
That's right. Look,
it's here.
And normally, seriously, T-Bob and I are weird. Normally, I'd want to work. I'd want to talk about all the things that we have going on in college athletics because I didn't get a chance really to do it last week because we were doing a lot of interviews in Destin. But LSU's also having their first pitch at 2 o'clock. I need to watch the Tigers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, man. Hey, by the way, y'all, I'm going to be posting a lot about it today, so be on the lookout. But the new Snaps channel just dropped.
All right.
So if you want to help out the homies, I'll see how our SEO is. If you Google Snaps Podcast, you can find the pod, Apple, Spotify, whatever. But look it up on YouTube, and let's really pump and dump.
What am I Googling
in the
here?
beginning? Maybe Snaps YouTube, Snaps T-Bob YouTube, something along those lines. If you get on YouTube, look up Snaps. I don't know, because it's right here at the beginning, so I can't imagine. Whatever. I'll send out the link. I think I just retweeted an early link, but be talking about it constantly. So hit the like button. Hit the like button on this video as well. Hey, I do want to remind you, go to AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. It is time to take control of your comfort zone, y'all, okay? All your AC, heating, electrical needs right there for you with AccuTemp. Crazy storms yesterday. And remember, Jake, storm season coming in? Is it technically storm season? I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we're here, and if you want a whole home generator, you get $1,000 off with AccuTemp right now and free whole home surge protection. So don't lose any of that valuable information, electronics, or anything. AccuTemp of Baton Rouge. Ask about the Star Club membership while you're there, where you just pay a flat number, and they stay on top of your systems for you and make sure you avoid any catastrophic issues down the road. My non-for is just glad the Whistlers are DOA for the year. I agree. But hey, at least they won the SEC tournament, right?
I think them winning the tournament and then kind of showing up again, obviously every situation's different, but it is a great example, another case study of conference tournaments when you've already kind of clinched, relatively where you're going to be in the postseason.
Yep.
What do you put into that tournament? Who do you bring in? How do you format it? Again, basketball tournament, now the baseball tournament, there's something to it. And when Jay Johnson, when you kind of the way he went about it, kind of showed you what he thought. Getting one victory was, I think, very important for them. They wanted to shore up a top 8 seed.
Just make it again.
But it's what do I need to do? And once I get that, how do I react after that?
Yeah.
So.
And look, yeah. So it matters, but then again, and it matters to others, right? Because Alabama doesn't host without doing what they did in the region. Oh, we got to go to break. All right, more OTB coming next.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down to my last dime. Cold in Baton Rouge. I'm ready what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Moon Griffon is back. The voice of Louisiana politics makes his return to Baton Rouge. Catch the Moon Griffon Show weekdays from 9 to 11 a.m. on Talk 107.3.
All right, let's say ah.
Musso, join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. Matt is back from vacation. We're recapping the Baton Rouge Regional, and the Saints hit the field for the final week of OTAs. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
When we met that summer, new kids on the block had a bunch of hits. Chinese food makes me sick, and I think it's fly when girls stop by for the summer.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Shout out LFO. Did you pass recently?
I think two of the three I know for sure.
So who's left, F? I'm sorry. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. I'm sorry. A step too far.
To all the LFO fans, I apologize. That was just from the dome. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Busy Art Tilter, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Wheat. No, Avo, we do not have a roofing partner here on OTB, so you can tell your brother's roof who got messed up. He can go wherever. But good looking out, dude. Thank you.
Yeah. Or, if you,
we should
know somebody,
but whatever. I had something to say and talk about, and now I forgot what it is. So, go Tigers! Let's go, boys.
That's pretty much all you gotta say. We got like a minute left.
This was it. Weekend winner, Braden Jobert. First off, we didn't mention him at all, which is crazy because he hit the game.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot to get to today. Okay.
But also for wearing that fit and then hitting the game-winning home run. In case you missed it, right? He had the tank top wife beater with
Cowboy
a big
hat.
old belt buckle, cowboy hat, aviators, jeans, boots. It caused Ben McDonald to bring up Yellowstone, which made Ben very happy. So shout out Braden Jobert. I forgot he played for Nichols back in the day. I saw that highlight this morning.
Go do it again today. That'd be great.
Yes, that would be great. And we'll see, hopefully, celebratory tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You want to feel younger, stronger, faster, better. Maybe HRT's for you. Maybe it's not. Go to Rejuve Me, get your labs drawn, see where you're at. Also remember, they've caught major health issues when drawing those labs, and it's helped to, just really help to save lives, quite literally. But chances are, someone who's lost a lot of weight, they're feeling good. Maybe, right? And potentially, they've been doing some metabolization optimization, maybe a little semaglutide. So just explore it, see if maybe it's for you, and you'll enjoy the potential results. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com.
Yeah, once you go to the website, you can find a full list of conditions that they can treat and help you out with. And there's a lot of things on that list that maybe you don't even have an idea about, but that's why you go in. That's why you had that consultation, get that blood work done that we always tell you about, because you just don't know. And if you don't feel right, they'll make you feel right over at Rejuve Me. Again, go to the website today, RejuveMeMedical.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team.